So welcome everyone to Community Board 4's January 2022 public hearing and regular meeting. It is now 6:07 p.m. and we're going to go ahead and get started with our public hearing agenda. Before we do, just want to wish everyone a happy and safe new year. Welcome to our first meeting as we kick things off for this year. We have 3 agenda items this evening. Please mute if you're not speaking. Thank you. I only see one presenter as of right now. We will keep checking. I do not see Mr. Abril from Bushwick Car Service. If you're here, please let me know. If there's a representative, please let us know, just in case we missed you. And I do not see, just give me, oh, I see, here we go. Give me one moment, Dr. Bailey is here. Trying to allow you to be a panelist. Principal Bailey, if you see a little box, if you can just click that. All right. Okay. So you should at least be able to unmute now. I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me switch you over to a panelist. All right.
Well, Dr. Bailey had to sign off.
Okay. So who is with us this evening?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Can you let us know who's there? I heard that Dr. Bailey had to sign off.
Yes, I'm Dr. Bailey, principal at PS 299.
Excellent. So we do not have our first public hearing. I believe we don't have our first item with us. So the second item would be your update from the school, if you're ready.
Yes, for some reason, I'm not able to see myself, which is fine. I did have some slides, but that's okay. I can just explain what's going on at PS 299. So I'm sure
You can still share your screen if you would like. You have that option.
Okay. For some reason, it's not really showing up, which is fine. So PS 299, of course, 88 Woodbine Street. We are having a 2-year construction project that began in September and will last until June 2023. The school will have a new roof. The exterior masonry, the brick will be pointed, and the parapets, the pieces that hang over the edge of the roof, those will be renovated. There's no stair access to the scaffold to keep everyone safe, and there's only one access to the field from the school. So at this time, we only have the scaffolding up, and we're awaiting the permit to actually start the job. So that's what's happening in terms of construction at PS 299.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board or from the public regarding this update?
Yes, I do. I have a question.
Go ahead.
It's not really about the construction per se, but I guess it ties into that. I live on Woodbine, and since I've been here, the way the school removes the trash and the way they have it like lined up on the sidewalk, it causes a lot of litter. It's a lot of dumping, and it's an eyesore. It's a mess. And I'm wondering, with this construction, do y'all have any plans to resolve this issue? Because I've been here almost a decade now, and I've never ever seen that problem mitigated by any of the administration at the school. They just literally just dump the trash, which causes others to come and see that as a dumping site, and it looks horrible. That's a horrible thing for children to have to see when they're walking to school in the morning. Just piles and piles of garbage all over the place. It's disgusting, and it's an eyesore.
Hi, this is Virgie Jones, the Youth and Education Committee Chairperson. Welcome, Dr. Bailey, to our meeting, and Ms. Patterson, I believe, right? And
I
Mr.
can't,
Clarkson,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you well.
Yeah, Virgie, it's not really clear, your audio.
can you hear me now a little bit better?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay.
better.
And if you're not hearing me, just let me know, Mike. It goes in and out. But anyway, this was a problem that had been addressed before with the sanitation department. And at one of our meetings, this was a couple of years ago. And what we will do is follow up with them to see exactly what's going on. Unless Dr. Billy, you have some other updates on this for us?
And no, not at this time, because all schools are designated an area to place the garbage. It's unfortunate that there are people who come and dump other things on top of the school garbage. However, yes, we would have to coordinate with sanitation. But again, it's that designated area that they provide for us.
Yeah, I understand that, but the school sets the standard. So if you guys weren't already, just grotesquely dumping the trash, I don't think the community would follow. So, it's the way you dump the trash that causes other people to see that this block as a dump site. But I hear what you're saying. Is there any other context I could have? Because you're saying that it's a sanitation issue. If I want to continue and I'm going to keep documenting and taking picture and picture and picture, because they always say they resolve and they don't. So who would I be able to contact through sanitation as well as through the school?
So we can certainly follow up. This is Celeste Hadia. So we can follow up. This is a board issue, and I know we have other elected officials on that can also flag this for sanitation. So I'm happy to provide you with the superintendent's office. I can provide you with the community affairs contact. If you need that, we will be working closely with, Dr. Bailey Miller on this, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. But that is why the board has a district service cabinet. It is to address interagency issues. So we will follow up on this and we'll coordinate a meeting with both sanitation and the school. As Ms. Jones stated, this was addressed before, but it looks like we need to revisit those conversations and see what else we can do to make sure that this is better for the community. So thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Yes, thank you. And also we have a committee, a youth and education committee. We'll send you information on when they meet, because some of these problems that are occurring, we in the meeting, we will not like to address them. We would address them but we want to make sure we have the people that are responsible for doing it there, so they can answer questions, because as of now, we're having a full board meeting, and any complaints or issues that they may have, we have committees. Please call the office and we'll make sure we'll put you in the committee so we can address this situation. Thank you.
Right, and also we're having our committee meeting is scheduled for this Monday at 6 o'clock. Youth and education.
Thank you. All right. So if there are no other questions for Dr. Bailey Miller, are there anyone else?
This is Virgie again. I'm sorry, I
Go ahead.
apologize.
No, go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
did, okay, on January 6th, Dr. Bailey, I did attend the CEC meeting and the construction authority was there.
Oh, your sound went back out, Virgie.
I did attend the meeting. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I did attend the CEC meeting on January 6th with the school construction authority, and they did address 299 and the work that they are doing and the plans for the work. And it also spoke about the elevator that they're having put in, and think the elevator is going to be updated. So thank you again, Dr. Bailey, for the update on the construction and the wonderful work that you all are doing.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jones, and thank you everyone for being part of your meeting today.
Absolutely. And I would just like to note that when I reached out to the school last month, we had a community concern come to the office. It seemed like minutes, we got a response, we had information, and we had, the offer to attend this meeting. So we really appreciate you responding to the community's concerns so quickly. And of course, being with us this evening. We know that this is a commitment. It's after hours. School finished a while ago. So we absolutely value your time and you being here with us this evening, and we'll certainly be following up soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening, everyone.
You too. All right. So I believe I was keeping track of the chat. I know we have folks joining us. There's a lot going on. But if I think I saw our borough president is here. So it is customary. I leave this up to the board, Mr. Camacho.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Like for him to speak to us, just give me one moment.
Yes.
Let me find him in the list. Are you already there we
Yes,
are. Yes.
I mean,
Thank you,
I'm
Ken.
here.
Hey!
Hello, Community Board 4.
Woo!
Nice to be here. Thank you so much for letting me,
Congratulations.
District Manager Celeste. Thank you so much. And to Chair Camacho, thank you for having me in
You're
my
welcome.
Community Board 4. Happy to see all your faces. Thank you for the folks that are coming on camera because I miss you all. And it's just good to see you all.
Yes.
From Borough Hall, who would have thunk it that somebody from North Brooklyn would have been able to find a way to be here in representing the entire borough of Brooklyn, coming from a neighborhood that I represented like Bushwick. And I just want to say that I'm very proud and grateful and so fortunate to be here. The first 3 weeks have been absolutely amazing. And I
Yes.
can't wait to be back on the ground to be with you all. We have some things that we're looking to do, so we'll be bothering your 2 council members in Sandy Nurse and Jennifer Gutierrez to see if we can get there and make sure we're bringing resources to you all. I have to tell you, we're still going through this COVID phase. I know it's taking us a dip, but we can't sleep on the amount of work that we need to do to protect ourselves and keep ourselves in a position where we're safe and we're healthy. I'm hoping to get out of this hole like everyone else is, but we got to do it the right way. So I have some stuff that I'm going to be bringing to Community Board 4 soon. I can't say for sure right now what it is because I don't want to overcommit and underdeliver because Camacho's going to hold me down to say if I tell him 100 masks, I can't bring 99. So I'm working on something, Camacho, to make sure that we do right by you guys. Look, we all know that the borough president's office and the community boards are supposed to have a very strong relationship. We want to get a lot of things done. And I have very high expectations of Community Board 4. I know better than anyone how effective and capable this community board is. So because of with great talent comes great responsibility. So I hope you guys are ready because we're going to be doing a lot of work. I want to talk about opportunities for professional development as well. I want to make sure that we can put forth classes and opportunities for learning more about land use and education and transportation, and hoping that you guys will be willing to be a part of that. I always told you, and I tell everyone, that I was growing every single day and becoming a better council member as the days went on. I never stopped learning how to be a council member, even on my last day. I always wanted to be better. And I hope that you don't see this as a slight in saying that you're not educated or you're not informed. It's actually an opportunity to just be stronger, to learn a little more, so that when you do have to talk about issues or make decisions, that you're even better prepared. That agencies can't come out here and think that they could Bigfoot you because you don't understand a topic or a subject, that you know just as much as they do because we're giving you these opportunities. So I hope that this community board would be open to that. I'm really excited to be able to present that to you all. I know that I'm going to ask a lot of you, but I'm not going to do it without providing you the resources that you need to make that happen. I want to make sure that Camacho and Celeste have what they need to make sure that they're functioning appropriately. If there are resources that I can, from my office, that I can bring to the community board, I'll make sure that I do that. To end it, I guess, more so than anything else is, I want to do comprehensive planning. Community Board 4 went through a significant 5 and 6 years process going through a rezoning recommendation. Now, by no means is the rezoning perfect, but it was an attempt at a community to try to control its own fate, determine what it wants its outcomes to be, right? That's what we did. And now, if we look back at that study, it might already be out of date because it took us 6 years and the mayor sat on it for another 3. So I think we're going to need to dust that off and have another conversation that is going to be led by the community board. I'm going to, unlike before as a council member, I really wanted to have a diverse set of folks being a part of it. I think as a borough president, I want all my community boards to kind of lead in those types of works. So I'm building a comprehensive plan for all of Brooklyn that is resemblance of what the community board for community plan was. It wasn't only about rezoning. We talked about parks, we talked about streets and transportation, we talked about schools, we talked about sanitation, and all those things matter. So I'm gonna ask every community board to do that. So I think you guys will have a small leg up there, but I'm really looking forward to making you guys the centerpiece of the organizing around that work. And then to leave it is just, you guys know your family. I saw Camacho the other day, he didn't treat me any differently, was still yelling at me and telling me to bring resources to Bushwick. Because you can take Antonio out of Bushwick, but you can't take Bushwick out of Antonio, right? Like, it's for life. There's nothing we can do there. So I'm the same kid that came in, I want to say 14 years ago as a chief of staff for Diana Reyna. I'm still the same person that's trying to help you. I want to stay humble. I want to keep love in my heart in the work that I do for all of Brooklyn. And I hope I can make you all proud. And just want to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak here. And it is not lost upon me that because of the support that I received from many people on this screen is why I am here where I am now. You guys helped lay the foundation for my run. And I can't tell you how grateful and appreciative I am to you all. And I love you all. And Camacho, if you want me to answer a couple of questions, I'm more than happy to do that. I know it's a busy agenda, so maybe you want me to do that another time. I have no problem you kicking me out now.
We're gonna ask, but before to the board member, before we start, I want to thank you. I have been in this community board for 34 years, a little more than 34, 35 years. Marty Markowitz, the other borough president, and then Eric
Howie Golden, Marty Markowitz, and now Adams. Now we got a Latino on there, man. It's like, holy cow, man. Who would? And it has to be from Williamsburg and Bushwick. I gotta say Bushwick too. I just can't say just Williamsburg because they'll pick me up here. Bushwick on my chest, man. Don't you
There
worry.
you go. I'm gonna make sure we're gonna move you over here soon. I don't know how soon, but we're gonna do that. But I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy, and I know your parents must be. Oh man, it must be a joy that a young Latino person like you from Williamsburg, and I know the feeling, man, and I'm just so proud of you, and I hope we're here for you, man. Well, don't worry about time. We know times are gonna get hard. We know how we've been there, so we know what to do. We're gonna help you, and we're gonna work with you, and we want to make you shine. Cause you make us shine, we're gonna make you shine. So we're gonna work together. And don't worry, you got 50 board members here that is on your back. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be together. We may yell and scream, but at the end of the day, we're gonna hold our hands and we're gonna go up there and we're gonna turn up and we're gonna do the right thing by us. But I wanna thank you, and I'm so proud of you that I have somebody. See, I could talk Spanish too. Before I couldn't talk Spanish because nobody understood what I said. So now you know what I'm gonna say if I say it in Spanish. Well, God bless you.
And Camacho, I just want to say, Camacho, it's not lost upon me that I'm the first Latino borough president of Brooklyn, and it does mean something for a lot of people in all of the city. But I hope that in my time that I was there in Community Board 4, that everybody felt that they were a part of the team and that I didn't, allow for like where I came from to define the work that I wanted to do. So again, I'm very proud, very happy that I'm the first Latino, but I hope that everybody felt that I represented all of Bushwick and every single person. My Afro-Caribbean roots and recognizing that. And even the folks that got here a couple of years ago, is all love, is the Brooklyn way. I just wanted to make sure that everybody felt that I was representing them. So thank you, Camacho, for that. It is an honor. And I'm really grateful. I saw, our district leader, Sammy Olivares, gave me a shout out too. Thank you, Sammy, for that. I really appreciate it. And everybody saying thank you. I can't read them all, but I'm just so happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm home. It's easy to be here.
And I know you came from Nestor Nino.
There you go, Barbara. How are you doing? And Barbara's still screaming at me for turkeys for Thanksgiving. So that changed. Like everything is still there. So I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you so much, Barbara. I came from. A lot of people here know my story, but extremely poor family on welfare, food stamps, Section 8. Went to daycare centers that are for poor and low income families. Went to public schools. I did it the hard way. But some folks ask, God for strength, and he doesn't just anoint you strength. He puts you in a situation that makes you stronger. And I felt like that's what happened to me, that I got put in a position where I could strengthen myself and become stronger through the circumstances.
And you know that welfare cheese is good too.
I like it.
All right?
So,
That's right.
I love it all,
You put it in toast and you put it everywhere. That thing is good. That's why you got strong like that. So don't worry.
Yeah. That's why we put raisins. That's why we put raisins in the pastelitos, man. I know it. So any other questions?
Excuse me for interrupting, but we have a long agenda. I think our wonderful borough president offered to answer a couple of questions.
Yep.
And I think Celeste, if you want to entertain those, we need to keep moving. Sorry, Mr. Borough President.
Good job, Ms. Bennett. No, I appreciate you, Ms. Bennett. Let's keep it moving. I agree.
That's our parliamentarian. That was our parliamentarian speaking. So I see Josh and I see Malcolm has a hand raised. If you have any questions, please drop something in the chat or raise your hand, board members.
Sure, good. Antonio, congratulations, Borough and President. Where do you foresee the Bushwick rezoning plan going just in the next 3 years?
Yeah. Look, I think that the rezoning kind of speaks to the principles that I hope that the city wants to move towards, right? Like where there's opportunities to grow in areas that have a strong transportation network, we should have that conversation. But there are people that have been here for a long time, and Bushwick itself has a character that is significant and culturally meaningful, and we should respect that too. But I want to be honest, it's going to come down to the effort that like this community board puts forth. What folks don't want is a battle. They want to go to the places that are the low-hanging fruit, the place of least resistance. And if you feel that the rezoning is going to protect the long-term, character of this community, then we push it. If we don't think so, then it won't happen. Nobody wants to get into a fight. And again, want to be very clear with folks of what the rezoning did. The rezoning said that we were going to get the 8,000 units of housing with no affordability in it if we do absolutely nothing, right? I want to be very clear. All the market rate housing will continue to go up if we do nothing. The rezoning was asking that we allow for that 8,000 units to exist, but that we also attach it to 8,000 units of affordable housing. So we control where those 8,000 units are going to be built and market rate, and we contribute and we get 8,000 units of affordable housing. That was more or less the goal that we were trying to set forth, that we control our own destiny. And we weren't being NIMBYist, right? We weren't saying not in my backyard. We weren't being obstructionist. So I hope that this mayor and the new DCP chair for both the city of New York and for Brooklyn, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a new director that is not Winston, who disrespected Bushwick in the work that he did there. I think that it's something that could happen, but I do think we need to clean up the edges a bit, Josh, because it's been a while and some things have changed. So we need to look at it again, make sure we have a couple more eyes on it, and then hopefully, in a year or so, we could represent it to the city and see how open they are to doing it. But I actually think under Eric, we might have a chance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. It's nice to see you, brother.
Indeed,
All
good to
right.
see you.
So we have Malcolm and Felix, and then I believe we'll have to move on. So this is your last chance to raise your hand if you have something.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm gonna be real quick. Reynoso, congratulations with the borough president office. I was there, I just went over with Eric, but I still think you're an amazing guy. But also you have to let them know that that once the borough president has now left, that all the seats are now vacant again, unless you're gonna reappoint the same people again, which you have to basically go out and let them know that they're up for they're up what's the word? You know the word I'm talking about. They have to
Reappointment, yeah.
reappointment. Yes, there you go. They're up for reappointment so that you can still keep that robust of people in your camp, and also to make sure that if there are people that want to become community board members, that they can apply, right? That's about it. I'm still here for you 100%.
I hear you. Thank you, Malcolm. We might have to lean on you for a lot of this stuff, but I would say
Yes.
this, for the reappointments, we are by Friday, the website should be up and running again. As Malcolm knows, we lost about 50 people. There were 60 people in this
Out of
office.
60.
We lost 50. We have 10 people here just learning how to turn on the lights at this point. The mayor has been helpful to us in the transition, but we have a lot of work to do. So unfortunately, some things are going to be taking a little longer than usual, but our application and our process should start on Friday. And Malcolm, we are going to figure out a way through the charter to be able to extend through like an executive order of some sort. So that everybody that's in the community boards is probably going to stay on the community boards until we start doing more work. But the application that we're pushing for is a little different. There's more questions that we're asking of you. We want to know more about you, your demographics, whether you own a home, what church you go to. It's just going to be a little more diverse because we want to get to know you better. So we're filling the community board up with a very diverse group of folks. But we're on it, Malcolm, and you're right. No one fear that they're going to be kicked out of the board. We are paying attention to it. And when we move, we're going to move quick and we're going to do it right. And we won't, you won't have to be protesting on whether or not, Ms. McClellan got kicked out of the board or something like that, because we're not going to let that happen. So just know we're going to be paying attention. If something does feel a little shaky and out of line, give me a call. Celeste is on top of it. She knows how to reach our people. We're going to take care of CB4. You guys are going to be okay.
Excellent. And I'm here for you too.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you. All right, Felix, Sammy, and then Joanna, and then we'll move on. Oh, you're muted, Felix. There you go.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Felix Ceballos. Antonio, congratulations. I'm proud about you. And we have to be together and working together.
Thank you so much, Felix. And I agree 100%. And I consider you guys family. So I will be leaning on you guys to set the example for the rest of these community boards on the work that we're going to be doing. So thank you for that, Felix. Se lo agradezco.
You're welcome.
Sammy?
Felicidades, Reynoso. Quick question. We're very proud of you. You were the chair of sanitation. What do you think now that there's a new mayor, new city council, what should be the advocacy to do with the garbage and sanitation and all the budget that was cut by the previous administration? So what we should be fighting for, with the new administration?
Sammy never misses an opportunity to advocate for Bushwick, let me tell you. Thank you so much, Sammy, for that. I owe you a call, by the way. I know it, so I'm gonna call you soon. But also, the sanitation issue was a difficult issue. I was the chair, and it was just very difficult to handle. I think a lot of it is about education and marketing and just really changing culture. And I couldn't do that. I didn't have the resources to get that done. The cleaning that happens in our district happens almost exclusively by private and public sanitation. But the people themselves needed to take a level of responsibility, and I could never get to a place where there was some ownership there. And Bushwick is arguably one of the most, the areas that paid attention to sanitation issues more than any other place. We put up murals, we tried the campaigns, and it just wasn't enough. But from what I understand, I'm pretty sure the city council is gonna have another sanitation chair, and I will be in my role as borough president, working alongside that person to make sure we bring resources to Bushwick. I told this to Camacho before, you got another friend in Borough Hall, which means that the resources should exponentially increase in Bushwick. So I will not only be talking about it, I'm gonna be making sure that I put my money where my mouth is and that we bring resources to Bushwick on many issues, but sanitation is something I'm gonna focus on, Sammy, and make sure that if we need more cleaning service, that we make that happen. Oh, and I'm meeting with the Commissioner Grayson next week. You see my stop is taking care of me. So I'm actually meeting with the Sanitation Commissioner next week and we'll follow up. But by then, the chair of sanitation would have been chosen. And I'm hoping that the chair is somebody great. And I have a feeling in my heart that it's gonna be somebody we love and that can really take care of us.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And then just two quick questions from the chat. So I know Virgie had asked the Woodhall Black History celebration, which you spearheaded during your time in the council. Will that continue, was the question?
So we're working on it because of COVID. We're trying to see if it's something that can happen. If it falls fast enough and we start seeing an opportunity to be able to do it, we will. But Woodhall is a high risk environment. So even at the lowest levels of COVID, it's not a place where we want to be bringing anybody that could be vulnerable. But there might be opportunities to do it in Borough Hall. A Black History celebration here, but also we're going to do a big thing here for Black History Month. We're looking to make this like a mini museum, bring in a more timeless, again, museum quality work in Borough Hall, a celebration in Borough Hall. So should we not be able to do it in Woodhull, but COVID goes down significantly enough that we could open up Borough Hall, we'll do the work here. But I want to be honest, it might not happen. It might have to be virtual, and we might have to make it up some other day. But also, I just want to be clear that I know it's Black History Month in February. It doesn't mean we can't celebrate Black culture and history in another month. And you know, should we be able to do that? That would be like, just be open-minded about that opportunity. Should COVID go down, that maybe it happens in March, April, or May. But I still invite you all to come out, and we'll have some time celebrating, you know, Black culture, history, and so forth.
Excellent. And the final question that I have in the chat was regarding the board member renewal applications. The question, I believe, was asking if they've already resubmitted it before the website went down for renovation. Do they have to resubmit when it comes back up, or has it been received?
We might have to resubmit. But we're gonna send out a notice very clearly to all the district managers. So let's be ready. And they might have to resubmit. The application will be different because we're asking for different things, and the old application might not work. But we're going to make sure this transition is as smooth as possible. We understand that we are the people that delayed it. We're the people that are making it different, are having changes made. And because of that, we're going to be very nimble and flexible as to how these things come in and how people get reappointed. So you're gonna have to bear with us, but we're gonna get it right when it's done. It's not gonna take a long time, but again, if you're a day late, if you're 2 days late, we're gonna figure out a way to make sure that we're good. So I just want you guys to feel comfortable. You will have to resubmit with new information. And I apologize, but it's gonna be good for long term.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, peace and blessings. And don't forget to spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
That's right.
Oh, no doubt.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Excellent. So we'll move on now with our public hearing. I believe next we have the Bushwick Star. So I know Noel's here, Vanessa's here. I will double check. I know there was one more person joining us. All right.
Peter.
Yes. See him. Let me just see. I'm going to promote you to panelist. If you see a little box, Peter, just click OK. There we go.
All right. Thank you so much, Celeste. And hello, everyone. Thanks for having us here today. I'm going to read from a bunch of remarks because we have a lot of points we want to hit, and I want to move forward in an economic way so that Vanessa and Peter have their time to speak as well. So I'll jump in. I'm Noel Elaine. I'm the co-founder and artistic director of the Bushwick Star Theater. For anyone who's not familiar with us, I'll give you a brief summary of who we are and what we do. We're a nonprofit performance space that's been operating in Bushwick since 2006. We produce new works by performing artists in many different disciplines: theater, dance, music, performance art, and artists who make interdisciplinary work. We also run and support a number of arts programs in partnerships with local organizations and public schools, including our after-school eco playwriting program, Big Green Theater, Creating Performance with El Puente, Shake on the Block with Oye Group, and senior storytelling at Roundtable Senior Center that's run with Caitlin Ryan O'Connell and Rachel Cotter Nailbuff. So in June of 2020, during the pandemic, we got word from our landlords at 207 Star Street that our spaces in that building would be becoming residential as part of their loft law conversion, which obviously ended our ability to operate our theater there. We moved out that August and started a search for a new home in Bushwick, while also searching in Ridgewood and East Williamsburg. Because of our relationship with the area, it was important that wherever we found a home, it would be close by. We were looking at all three areas, but I am happy to say we found a place, 419 Eldert Street, and it is in Bushwick, although we just held on by our fingernails. It's right across the street from Ridgewood, but we do still have a Bushwick address. So when we were searching, we thought we were looking to lease. We figured that's what we were going to be able to afford. But we were very, very lucky to find this 5,000 square foot, one-story building that was for sale. And with the help of our biggest donor and supporter and a nonprofit lending organization, Sea Change Capital, we were actually able to purchase this building and therefore really secure the future of our organization as an arts space in Bushwick. So we are now currently in the design process, leading up to filing for construction, while we also conduct a capital campaign to pay for the renovation. We have received city funding, which has been incredibly helpful, but as I'm sure you are aware, is also its own process. So in terms of our timeline, we anticipate opening the new space in early spring of 2023. So this new building, which we want to talk about today, is going to help us achieve a number of goals that we weren't able to attain at 207 Star Street. We will have more room in the building, so we'll be able to serve our artists and our audiences better than before. But the most exciting aspect of the new space is that we will have a substantial lobby space that we didn't have at 207 Star Street. There, we were on the second floor of a mixed-use building, and it was very hard for people to access the space unless they were coming to see a show or they had a pre-arranged meeting with us. But now we'll be on the street level with a large storefront lobby space that will not only help us welcome our audiences before our shows, but will also be open to the public during the day. So a welcome open space for gathering that provides tables and chairs, bathrooms, water, coffee, free Wi-Fi. And that also we intend to use for more, in addition to it just being an open space, used to host additional events there, hold additional classes, host speaking engagements, display artwork. There are a lot of ideas spinning around about how we can use this additional space and how it will help expand our ability to welcome people into the building. So to talk a little bit more about some of our programs and some of our ideas about how we're going to use the space, I'm going to turn it over to Vanessa to continue.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing us to speak tonight. I'm Vanessa Peretta, she, her, ea. I am the Education and Community Director at the Bushwick Star. And I'm so excited and proud to oversee several of our programs that Noel already previously mentioned. Everything from Big Green Theater, which engages our 3rd and 4th grade, more elementary school students, Shake on the Block, which is our Shakespeare adaptation, that's middle school. And then we have a longstanding collaboration with El Puente. We do a creating performance class, which works with the summer youth engagement program during the summer, or employment program during the summer. And in the winter, we open it up to general El Puente Bushwick members, where we create performance in general. It's a class that's really molded and tailored to fit the needs, curiosities of our students and our youth. And as Noel said, we're really excited because at our new space, we're really close to a lot of our neighboring schools. And as we've been sitting down to think about our presence, not only as a theatrical institution, but as a space that wants to authentically reach and have impact in a positive way with our community, I can't help but like envision having after school programs flooding into our space. As Noel said, we have every intention of opening up the space to provide Wi-Fi, access to materials like printing, so that students and our youth can have somewhere that can be safe, reliable, hopefully that like families will know about. So, again, community-driven workshops that not only are educationally based in art, but are also just open and fun. So things we're thinking about are having movie nights, community movie nights, open mics for our youth, maybe block parties. We are currently going to be starting in February, which we'll be announcing at the next community board as well, but we're having a free community workshop with one of our artists who has engaged this past summer with El Puente, our students, and now is coming back. Her name is Michelle or Micha J. Rodriguez, and she's going to be presenting her thoughts and strategies on the processes of songwriting and creative life and collaborations on new musicals. So by having this space, we really hope that we can truly open it up to be really rooted in our community. Obviously, I have a massive emphasis in our youth, in our education, but we later will give you all of the information. We want to hear from you, want to hear our needs of our youth, our families, what we can provide in our space. We, as Noel said, we have a responsibility to give back to Bushwick. We have the privilege to own a building, so therefore we have a responsibility to support our community. So we are so excited to be able to engage with all of you, hear your ideas on how we can use our space, how we can use our programming to keep fortifying our youth, keep fortifying our strong knit community. So we're very excited, and we are authentically searching for your feedback and input. So I'll speak a little bit more at the end with some contact information, but just wanted to keep you all updated about our offerings and the way that we're brainstorming and approaching our work here in Bushwick. I'm going to hand it back over to Noel. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vanessa. Yeah, we are very excited about this location on Elbert Street. It's right by the Halsey train. It's on the manufacturing block. That's a dead-end street. We've already formed really great relationships with our neighbors there on the block. And we're very excited for this new home will allow us to become even more of a community arts center, as Vanessa was just saying. I also want to, before I introduce Peter to kind of talk about the physical structure a little bit more, I want to say that during this period of time where we do not have a functioning theater to work out of, we are continuing to run all our programs with our partners in our schools, in the schools that we work with, as well as producing our shows, but with producing partners. So this season, we have two shows scheduled that are coming up. One is called A Song of Songs by Agnes Berinsky. That will be presented in March in partnership with El Puente at their main headquarters at 211 South 4th Street. And that represents kind of a new level of collaboration between our two organizations. That's really exciting. And then in June, a show called Quince by a company called One Whale's Tale that will be in Bushwick at a location that's still to be determined. We're working on that, figuring out what kind of space we're going to be able to find for that, but that will be later in the summer. And of course, we'll be talking about those shows as they approach in the coming months. But to tell everyone a little bit more about this space itself, the building, I'm now going to hand this over to Peter Zuspin, the architect, to make a brief design presentation.
Hi, everyone. I also want to thank the community board for inviting us to speak. I will try to be brief and walk you guys through a couple of the main points, as well as hopefully share my screen so I can show you some images here. Give me just a second. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Oops. Okay, so I'm Peter Zuspin. I run Bureau V Architecture. We're a queer-owned architecture and design practice in North Brooklyn. We focus a lot on performance and the arts, as well as some multifamily and other types of projects. So to walk you through quickly, one of the interesting parts about working in New York City is we always have to deal with old buildings. So this is a early rendering of the building, which was built, we believe, in the 1930s, originally as a milk truck depot to deliver milk around the neighborhood. So it has a interesting community history. And I just want to kind of walk you guys through some of the main features of it. We are, as you can see, there's sort of 4 to 5 pieces to the building, one of which is the back of house space, the offices, the wood shop, the theater itself, the studio, which was also similar to kind of rehearsal space. And all of this is stuff that the Bushwick Star had in their previous home. The two things that we're really adding are the marquee and the lobby space. And the kind of marquee idea is really like really showing us that we have this street presence. And one of our big hopes is that the street will be a huge part of this project. Another thing that is really fantastic about this process is that the Bushwick Star has never had a lobby, as they mentioned. And in that sense, we have both in this process of design, learn to what are ways we can use this lobby as an institution, but also as a community. So as a big part of this design process, we've already had a number of meetings with community members in Bushwick, including with El Puente, with a really fantastic meeting at still in Magnolia, just down the street from the Bushwick Star, as well as with a subgroup of the community board here, to really think through what are ways that this lobby space can be used for the community as much as it is used for the Bushwick Star. If there's anything that I think the institutions of New York City have really seen, especially after the protests of 2020 and the Black Lives Matter movement and the Open Your Lobbies campaign, there are these empty institutional spaces that should be used by the community that were just locked and closed. And I think that is one thing that we've really trying to not have the lobby being used for. This is not a space for waiting. This is a space for action. This is a space for activity. This is a space that we want to hand over to the community of Bushwick as much as we ourselves want it to be a part of the Bushwick Star and its identity. So to quickly walk you through a little bit of these images, this is a floor plan just to kind of orient you. Eldred Street's over here on the right-hand side. You'll walk into our main lobby space. Just below there's the studio rehearsal space. The back of house is over on your left, and the Black Box Theater in the center of the building. The theater space itself, to show you a little section, just showing it is an intimate space. We're really keeping that intentionally. I think that's a big part of the Bushwick Star's identity, to really foster and bring in smaller, more experimental things and allow them to grow and incubate in this type of a small space. And one of the things that I want to show you guys now are some of the plans that we have for the lobby, the studio, and the street that came out of some of these discussions with the community. And one thing we also, I would say, as Vanessa mentioned, this is also an invitation for the community to contact us and let us know how they might want to use this space, because we're very excited about being able to open this up. So to walk you through, this might be, for instance, a typical daytime plan where, if it's a nicer day, we can actually have some tables on the outside, just tables and seating that's open, kind of first come, first serve, sit down, come by after school, have a glass of water, maybe a coffee, sit and do your homework. This is the kind of idea that we want the space to be used during that time, a sort of image of what that might look like on a nice fall day. On an evening time, we might have more central seating, as a sort of more standard lobby as people sort of mingle and discuss before events, an idea of what that might look like. Another thing we're super excited about is this lobby itself can be used as an event space. So again, this is not a space for waiting. This is where we can have people from the community come in, give talks about whatever they want to talk about. This is a platform that we hopefully are going to be, one of the things, just a quick aside, we worked on a number of projects, and one of them, we did a master plan for a Brooklyn Public Library branch. And one thing we learned very quickly there is the lobby space was used more than the performance space itself. So that is one thing that we've really leaned into in this project, and thinking through how can we make sure that we book and give this space as a performance area and a place for discussions and meetings as much as possible. Another really nice part about this is the studio space, which is just next to the lobby, where we're putting in a large garage door so we can actually open that up and make a larger community event space in the front of the space, all as one piece. So here, the idea of maybe a local film screening or other type of artist talk, or a political figure wanting to give a discussion here. This is the space that we're trying to hope to have this lobby and studio really become for the community. Another big thing that came out of some of our discussions was the idea of actually having just an open marketplace on an afternoon and the weekends, where everything's open up. We have booths outside. This could be for potentially food purveyors. It could also be something where we organize a kind of community where we ask a lot of the local stores and artisans and craftsmen to come in and kind of show their wares and sell them, and really have, again, this space to be used constantly for whatever we can think of and whatever you guys can think of. So that's basically the extent of it. The other thing that Noel also mentioned is we're on a dead-end street, and they've already used that to, since we don't have traffic, we don't have buses that we have to worry about, we don't have public transportation that we need to dodge and organize around, we can get permits to close this street all the time to do festivals, to do outdoor events and really allow this to sort of spill out even further into the community. So I will now give this back to Noel. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Peter. Really, that was the end of our presentation for today. We really wanted to turn it back over to the board and see what, people's questions, comments, anything else that we can tell you about.
Celeste,
Yes, go ahead.
I don't see a thing to raise my hand. I just want to know, Butch Star used to come to round table, Rachel and her crew. Then we did it virtually for a couple of months. Are they gonna come back? Because they were supposed to come back in June, and I don't know what happened. But it was a good program, and then we did a lot of work, and then this one.
They will be.
There.
Oh, sorry. You're breaking up a little bit. They will be coming back. We just had a meeting recently because we got confirmation for the SUCASA grant that supports that program, that we are receiving it. So that's great. And I think that the question of whether we'll be able to hold class in person or virtually, obviously will be something we're working out as the situation with the virus continues to either improve or not. But that's definitely kind of something worked out between the teachers and Roundtable, but we will be working with Roundtable this spring into the summer.
The last two classes we did virtual. We did them virtual. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Raul Rubio. Raul, you got your hand up. Hello, Raul.
All
Virgie
right.
Jones?
Yeah,
Virgie
Virgie,
Jones?
we'll come back to Raul if anything. Go ahead, Virgie. You're still muted.
All right, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Virgie Jones, the Youth and Education Chairperson, and thank you for that wonderful presentation. We're excited that you're here in Bushwick, and we're excited for the building that you're in. I think it's going to do a lot for our schools, for our neighborhood. I just wanted to know, by chance, are you working with any of these schools in District 32 currently?
I don't believe in District 32, the schools we've been working with have been, because the school programs are supported through COSTA grants through the council members. I don't think Reynoso is here anymore, but I just to thank him for all the years of support his office has given us, and now Jennifer Gutierrez there. So in District 34 and in 37, oh, Sammy's saying PS 75 is in 32. Is it really?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
on Evergreen.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
our
and
school.
at 75, we've been there for, will be our 7th year? Vanessa's,
Okay,
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
And so only PS 75 is the only one that you're working with right now?
No, I'll let Vanessa talk about it because this is her.
Wonderful, thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, no, currently we're working with PS 239 in Ridgewood, IS 77 in Ridgewood, PS 106, PS 75. PS 18 is a newer edition, which is kind of like on a borderline. I think they're more like District 30. Well, anyway, and we've worked currently or in the past with PS 236. There's a laundry list. We try to really keep established at least one school for several years and then rotate. But again, it's depending on our council people and where our assignments go through our grants.
All right, my last question, and I apologize. Are you working with any of the middle schools in District 32?
Not in
That you're
32.
aware of?
Yeah, not in 32. Our middle school programming is still budding. We've been trying to find a sweet spot with responsive programming to what middle schools are currently needing right now. So Shake on the Block is our only middle school program, and that's just at IS 77. We're hoping to expand if we get more funding, and we do recognize that middle school currently does need a lot of attention and help. So it's definitely on the radar. That's a great question.
Thank you so much, and we will be reaching out to you. Thank you.
That's right. And Noel, we wanna thank you because you have been a member in our family, and we're glad that you're here. We hope that we can push, like you heard our borough president says, and get more our schools in District 32. We work a lot with the superintendents. Maybe we can link together with our superintendents, with Reggie Jones, our chair of youth and education, and maybe we can make something happen for our youth, and we can use the spot that you have for us and for our community. And you know, I know there's always a bill to something. Everything ain't free. You know, the lights gotta be paid. I tell my kids all the time, I go up and down with the switch and say that it's not free. So I understand. So we really need to make sure that people that are giving back to Bushwick, and you bought something in Bushwick, and I'm so happy for you. And we're gonna give you all our prayers and blessings, man. And everything is gonna work out once we stay here. Don't worry about that. We're gonna make sure you're shine. And we want to thank you for working with us.
Thank you, Camacho. It's so wonderful.
I have a question. When do we anticipate everything opening and running?
We hope I want to like knock on all the wood around me right now, but we, you know, would really love to be open to kind of start our first, you know, rehearsal process and be able to start welcoming people into the building in late February of 23.
But our educational programming is currently going. We've remained virtual. Right now, Big Green Theater is heading to start up in the beginning of February at PS 106 and 75. So as far as our educational programming, it's still running. We've just gone to virtual. So we can't wait to get back in person, but we're still going.
All right, Malcolm?
Yeah, I just have one small question, nothing real big. Due to the space, and you said that it's near a dead end. Sorry, that's near a dead end. So basically, you're expecting like having like big events. I noticed that there's only there's a small bathroom there. Is it going to be 24 hours? I mean, is it going to be a full-time janitor, or because I could see that becoming like a big thing, and then with COVID happening and stuff like that, people like restaurants. We came back from COVID, and a lot of restaurants you go to, their bathrooms are still dirty, which means that people will still be getting sick because they're thinking about the money and not about the cleanliness that goes to keeping it clean. So I'm just saying that I hope that y'all are planning to maybe, you know, improvise and make sure that there's enough sanitation going on as far as when the events get larger.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there'll be a few bathrooms up front. I think do we have 4 people?
Yeah, we have 4 gender inclusive restrooms, and one of them is also ADA accessible.
And then in terms of, I mean, you know, to your point, we're moving into a bigger space. We're owning a building for the first time and responsible for it. So, you know, it's not lost on us the additional responsibility that comes along with that. So we are, as part of our capital campaign, part of that is more staff to help us take care of the building, to help us make sure it's maintained, facilities management, all of that. So I mean, I guess,
yes.
You know, the short answer is yes, we are planning to do that, and and I'm sure we'll learn a lot once we really start to do it, you know, in real time.
Desmond, last one is Desmond, and we're gonna.
I guess I would also give that question to the architect, because in designing you can add things within a design that can help with that. The COVID protocols. We do that in housing. So have you thought about adding that to the design to make sure that the building has those precautions?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things related to that. We definitely will have a very modern mechanical system. One thing about a theater is that you have to build a mechanical system that is much more overbuilt than what would be typical in a housing or in an office space. So we can actually turn over air much faster. We have a whole system that, unlike a lot of spaces, actually draws in fresh air all the time to be able to bring in that fresh air and be able to have the air circulate. So many precautions like that are already part of the project for sure. And also, according to, you know, even the way building code is, we have to have ventilation in every single bathroom stall. One of the things we're doing in this space is rather than having bathroom partitions, you know, that you see in a more traditional format, if you go into a gendered restroom, we actually have separate rooms. And each one has their own kind of HVAC system. So we'll be able to draw air out of those quickly. So that's part of it, as well as gender-related privacy, because this is the way that we're sort of doing this now. So everyone can use any restroom. So those are some of the precautions that we're making. If that helps, because I think the real focus on a lot of the COVID restriction or COVID safety related to this is a robust HVAC system.
Celeste?
Okay. Did you have something else, Desmond? Or are you good? Okay. All right. So thank you. Yeah, thank you to the Bushwick Star, and thank you everyone for your questions. This is really exciting, and we look forward to hearing news as things move along.
That's right. No, don't worry about it. We're gonna make it happen.
Wait, can I say something? Y'all know the reason why I'm saying this, because once people know that it's an open space, these bathrooms are open, people are gonna come and use them regardless. Somebody may get out the train, they're gonna use the bathroom. They're gonna come out the store, they can use the bathroom. They're gonna be in them bathrooms. That's what I'm saying, that they need to be maintained. That's all, because it's an open space, it's open to the public, it's gonna be a fantastic space, but at the same time, there's gonna be that pull on that bathroom. I'm sure of it. That's all.
Thank you.
Happy. Thank you. All right. So thank you folks for joining us, and we're going to move along. Before we wrap up our public hearing, I do have a special announcement. Our Councilmember Gutierrez has joined us this evening. Are you still there?
I think so is Sandy Nurse.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Buenas noches. Thank you, Celeste. I miss all of you so much. I'm sorry I couldn't attend Camacho, last month's meeting. Some of you may not know, I delivered my baby at Woodhall at the end of November. So I'm a first-time mom, so I'm taking all unsolicited
Congratulations.
and unsolicited advice. Thank you. Camacho and his wife have already provided a ton of help, so I'm open to it. But yeah, so we started the term earlier this month. I do want to hopefully get back to you with a little bit more of what we're doing on the legislative side. We did elect a speaker last month. She is the first Black speaker in the history of the City Council. We're really excited to support her and just come together. We really need to be united, as I think we've all said multiple times, to really talk about the injustices, the equity that our communities so desperately deserve and need. I'm also really excited to work alongside Sandy, who I've known for a long time. I think she's phenomenal, and I think Bushwick is in really, really good hands. And we have worked together before and are committed to continuing to work together. I'm really excited to hit the ground running. I'm still building out my staff, but our district office is still in Williamsburg. As some of you know, I represent Williamsburg, Bushwick, and Ridgewood in Queens. And so that location is at the existing location where the borough president has his at 244 Union Avenue. I can put that information in the chat. And lastly, I would love to talk to anybody. If anyone has questions about Bushwick Star, like Noel mentioned, Antonio did support them in the district. I'm more than happy and enthusiastic to continue supporting the partnership for our Bushwick schools, our school district 32 schools. And I'm here. I'm sorry this is a little brief. I think on the City Hall front, tomorrow we'll get a little bit more clarity on some of our committee assignments. But you all know I'm committed to this trash situation in Bushwick. Whoever the chair is, I will work with them, and we will move the dial forward on so many of our pertinent issues. And thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. And I'll be here. I'll just probably put myself on mute. Thank you.
We want to thank you. We love you. We miss you. And that's a beautiful baby. And I want to saw her before or anybody else saw her. All right. So
snuck in.
Knock on her door and bust in there, and I got to see the baby. And that was it. I brought a nice little teddy bear, the first Christmas bear, so she'd be all right. I gave her the first Christmas bear. But I want to make sure, I want to thank you. We're going to work with you and make sure that you shine just as much as we do. And we want to thank you. And God bless you.
Thank you. I love y'all. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.
Not for nothing. I don't know. What's the baby's name?
Oh.
You want to tell them? Come
No, you tell him, you tell
Her
him.
name is Hazel Salazar. That's my husband's last name. We were very undecided, and when she was born, he was like, "She looks like a Hazel," and that was it. I'm sorry. It's interesting to see our parents, both mine and my husband's parents, try to pronounce it. It's hard for them, I think. But yeah,
That's
she's a cutie. She's almost 2 months. I can't wait for y'all to meet her. I'm gonna be bringing her out. But yeah, I feel like she's in the most awesome hands. As soon as we brought her, like folks from the neighborhood were so excited to see her because I felt like I was pregnant for 100 years. I think people thought I was pregnant for 100 years, so they were excited to see a baby finally.
Yeah, I normally do give names that Spanish people don't know how to say, but you know what the heck. Mine's is Skylar, you know, so my grandbaby. So I don't know.
Don't judge me.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Congratulations.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
All right, so thank you. Yeah, thank you, council member. We're so happy that you could join us this evening. And I believe, as Mr. Camacho mentioned, we also have our other we have everyone tonight. And my apologies for missing you. I'm over here texting on like 3 different phones and checking the chat and making sure everyone's a panelist. I didn't even realize Sandy is also, council member Nurse is also with us this evening.
Yeah, I didn't want her. Celeste, I
We
didn't
were
want her to
texting.
scream because I saw her on the panel and I said, oh, she's gonna yell and scream at me. So let me make sure Celeste, because I know I'm
all good, all good.
I'm doing the same thing you're doing, Celeste. So it's so hard to read.
It's incognito. You're. It's like I see the picture of you, but you're under Michael.
I know. I don't know. I wasn't logged in earlier, but no sweat. Thank you so much. Hi, Jen. Good to see you. It was good to see the borough president. He's got a real nice office now. Living large over there in Borough Hall. 2 showers. I mean, it's real nice in there. I got the tour, so good for him. And how awesome for us that we all get an ally and a friend and a great partner in Borough Hall to support this community. We just wanted to update you on our office. So just so you know, we don't have a physical office at the moment. There was a fire in the previous member's office the last week of December. And so there's a lot of work being done. So we're trying to expedite the process, but we do have our email and our line. We have, we're fully staffed. So we are responding to the voicemails, but we don't actually have the physical office phone. So we respond to the voicemails and the emails. And just a couple quick things, because I know it's been a lot of speeches and touching base from members, but we are looking to continue to expand mobile COVID testing sites. So if you know of a location or an organization looking for support on that, let us know. You know, as long as they have a place to park a van, that's for free, they're open to it. We are meeting with schools, every school in the district this month as much as possible. So we've been reaching out. We've done a bunch. We did like 4 schools today. We're also doing outreach on discretionary funding. The applications are open. They close on the 22nd of February. Reach out to us. We'll have some trainings coming on. I know Jen, myself, and I are working with other Brooklyn council members to get a handful of trainings up and running so that folks can, who've never done the application or need support, can get that figured out. And then we're also supporting with homeowner assistance relief and emergency rental assistance programming. So if you need help filling out that application, please reach out to us. And then 2 other quick things. We're going to have a virtual town hall on February 8th. We'll send that out tomorrow where you can meet our full team. We will share our legislative priorities, and it'll be an opportunity for you all to raise concerns. We have requested that someone from sanitation come to give an update as an additional opportunity to hear from them based on the work that was pulled together, the sanitation town hall that happened. I can't remember if it was this year, the end of last year. Time is a time warp, but there was excellent work done by the CB4 as well as other community advocates. So we want to continue to have the opportunity for sanitation to be engaged with. And then some things to really put on your radar. And this is something that the CB4 really looking forward to working with you on. There was a pre-application put in by a developer to redevelop Broadway Junction. the private property that is surrounding Broadway Junction is now all kind of working together with a developer. And so we're looking at a March 22nd date for a town hall where we invite anybody who has a stake in this. So all of the 3 community boards, 16, 5, and 4 in the area, to come. Let's get reminded about what the plan the developer is proposing. We will have someone there to talk about the study they did, and then it is a completely open forum for community members to express concerns, and we should figure out how to get organized early on this, so we're not at the end of the last minute trying to advocate for our community. And then just a few other things. Yeah, we'll send all of this stuff as soon as we get it online tomorrow. We'll be co-hosting some rat prevention trainings. I don't know if anyone has done the Rat Academy. I have done it. It is worth it. It's 3 hours of talking about trash and rats and how we all in the community can support keeping our rats out of our homes and out of our trash areas. And yes, as Jen said, we'll be looking forward to our committee announcements tomorrow. And so hopefully whoever's on that committee, that we work really hard together to support this entire district, not just Bushwick, in really dealing with the trash, sanitation, and pest problems that have really been hitting us hard. So we put the information about our how to contact us in the chat. Please reach out. We'd love to hear from you all. And thank you for everything you've been doing this last year during COVID and everything you're doing right now to support our broader community.
Thank you. And I see one hand raised, Desmond.
Yeah, so I know that when we were talking about the Bushwick plan, that Broadway Junction was a hot topic. And one of the things that the community wanted was sort of an educational program or a satellite link to one of the colleges or trade schools. I know that you're having a town hall for the developer, but is there, can you give us like a brief preview of what they're proposing? Are they just talking about housing? Are they talking about bringing other services that the community needs? Can you just kind of give us a little bit about that?
Yeah, they have a slide deck that they had presented a couple years ago when certain advocates on the other side of the district in Cypress Hills, East New York, had kind of pulled out of the community conversations around it, and the project essentially stalled. When I did meet with the developer to just walk with a member of the East New York bid and 2 other community partners on that side to just do a walkthrough to get a sense of all of the property that's going to be redeveloped and what they were proposing. And they did mention several times that community education facility or some kind of university was something that they were interested in. They repeated multiple times they were looking to the Metro Tech model transportation hub education space as something they were looking at. And as I said, you know, the community advocates from the East New York and Cypress Hills side had pulled out of it. They felt like their concerns weren't being heard. So this is an opportunity to get reacquainted with that project and get clear on what our community priorities are, because we cannot have this develop without it being on our terms. There's a lot of housing around that area. This, you know, this is going to drastically impact all of the 37th, Jen's district, districts south of us. This is going to be a very big deal. It was a study done by the current mayor, who was then borough president, Eric Adams. We had former council members support this and invest in the study on it. So there is quite a bit of support from the new administration around this. So we just need to get organized and reacquainted with this project so we can start to develop our demands around how we want this to look.
Sandy, I want to thank you, congratulate you. We're here for you, and we're here to work with you and make sure that Bush will get their fair share, and whatever we can do, we're here for you. So I just want to thank you, and I'm happy for you, and I know you're gonna make us proud.
We will, we definitely will. Looking forward to working with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is A very exciting time for Bushwick.
Yes, Celeste, we have someone from the senator's office. He wanted to.
Well,
Go ahead.
So we do have one more public hearing item.
Okay,
Is it, oh, because we will get to the elected officials and reps. Is it the
guess-
senator? Or
I guess, I'm not too sure. I guess so, because is he on there? Are they on there? Carlos, are
Okay.
you on it? Oh,
yeah, Carlos, I saw Carlos is on. If we can conclude the public hearing and get in, they'll
Okay.
be able to introduce
All right.
themselves, just so we can wrap up. But thank you to both of our council members for joining us. Oh, and I see you. Thank you, Carlos, for dropping that in the chat. So without further ado, I know Mr. Abril from Bushwick Car Service is with us. Thank you for joining us. Y si necesita traducción en español, nosotros podemos también. Hay gente aquí que pueden traducir. So for those that don't speak Spanish, I was just letting him know if he prefers to speak in Spanish. We do have individuals that can translate if he prefers. And before we get started with this particular item, I will just say that this went through committee. The committee has made a recommendation. We'll hear a little bit more about that in reports. I will also add that we forward all of these requests to the 83rd precinct prior to them coming to committee. There was no objection, so there were no issues, but this is really for Mr. Abril to introduce himself to the community. If there are any questions about Bushwick Car Service or any concerns that folks would like to speak on, now is the time. So, Señor Abril, si tú pueden, ahora, sí.
¿Tu cámara?
Sí. Sí, ¿cómo estás? Buenas noches.
Buenas
¿Cómo
noches.
estás? Sí.
So, un poquito de ti y la compañía.
Oh, sí.
sí.
Lo que pasa es que yo tengo la compañía se llama Bushwick Car Service. Entonces, nosotros trabajando mucho tiempo para la comunidad. Es un car service para prestar servicios a la comunidad. Y como todo, siempre pedimos la carta para ver si es que la empresa seguimos conservando. Porque ahora vemos todas las compañías de car service estamos yendo al suelo, digamos, están perdiéndose. Entonces, estamos echando la mano para ver si es que logramos sobrevivir. Entonces, Tialcinos necesita una carta. Entonces, yo solicité a ustedes para ver si podemos seguir trabajando, que no se pierda la compañía. Y estoy muy agradecido que me den esta oportunidad de hablar con ustedes.
Gracias. Me voy a traducir ahora. So please excuse if I missed any parts of this, but the summary of what was just said in Spanish was, he introduced himself, the company, they've been in the community for many years. They had to come to the board for a letter for the Taxi Limousine Commission for requesting a renewal for their license. This is something that they have to do every so often. And so he's just asking for support from the community in order for them to continue and to stay in business, because it's very difficult to be in business now with all the changes. So if I left out anything, please forgive me. And if there are other board members that can add, please feel free. I see Mr. Ceballos' hand. Oh, you're muted.
Yes, what I want to say is, I know that company, that car service for a long time ago. I never hear some negative situation, and I'm too close to the address, to the company, to the car service, and I wanted to say that because I know them for a long time ago. Lo que estoy diciendo es que esa compañía de ustedes, ese servicio de taxi, yo lo conozco por muchísimo tiempo. Estoy bien cerca de la localización de ustedes y quería resaltar eso, decir eso.
Okay. Anyone else? Questions, comments?
No, I would just, me gustaría darle las gracias a usted, y como usted sirve la comunidad de Bushwick, darle muchas bendiciones, como están las cosas ahora, cosas locas con la pandemia y todo lo que pasa. Ustedes son un servicio que nosotros necesitamos aquí más de nunca, y muchas gracias por viniendo, y nosotros estamos aquí para ayudarle a usted, y Dios lo bendiga. I just told him that he's ready.
Thank you very much.
That they're really needed in this community, because as you know, the cab service, they're essential, and they go out there and they also put this house on the spot. So we want to make sure that we take care of them and make sure that they do the right thing. Thank you.
What's their name again?
Bushwick Car Service.
Was they, did he have another name before?
I don't think so. Tiene una pregunta para ti, Pedro. Si la compañía tiene un otro nombre antes.
No.
No.
Sí.
Okay. No, no.
So Celeste, where are they at?
¿Qué es la dirección de la compañía?
184 de Knickerbocker.
184 Knickerbocker, Barbara.
Yes.
Right, because I never had them in either. We always use Costco. You can never find it there.
Oh, well, now you have another option.
Yeah, well, maybe the people don't know about those.
You got Jose Guzman on
Yes.
Guzman. Go
Jose
ahead.
Guzman, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I've been using a Bushwick Car Service for almost, I want to say almost 12 years. And they were one of the first ones that it was created in the community. And I cannot say how grateful I am for the service that you provide to this community. And I'm so happy to know that you're still alive, especially in this day and age with Lyft and Uber. So I'm so happy and grateful for the support that you, for all the help that you provide to this community. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Gracias.
Guzman, you could say it in Spanish. Could you talk Spanish? What happened in Spanish?
Se me olvidó, perdón.
No se te
Quería
olvide,
decir-
habla, tú eres.
Estoy bien bueno en eso.
Ya. Buenas noches a todas y todos y todas. Yo quería decir de que yo he usado como miembro de la comunidad Bushwick Car Service por casi como 15 años. Y fue una de las primeras bases, si se recuerdan, ese era el nombre, la base, de que servía a nuestra comunidad. Y pues es un gran apoyo que existe para la comunidad y pues me alegra que ellos sigan vivos todavía, funcionando en estos días con Lyft y con Uber. So, les agradezco y pues muchas gracias por el apoyo que han brindado a la comunidad de Bushwick por todos estos años.
Yeah, gracias.
Okay, Celeste.
Right. And Selena is the last one. I know Selena has her hand raised and then we will wrap up.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Has been a great meeting, and I just wanted to say maybe Senor Abril can share his phone number for those who were saying that they didn't even know that he, didn't know about his car service. Maybe he can share the phone number so that, we can continue to keep him in business and share that information.
Yes. Sí, ponga tu número en chat, please.
Mi número de teléfono.
Sí, para que la gente.
De la base.
Del
negocio.
Sí, para que sigan apoyando su
Yeah.
negocio.
718-386-5002.
Pedro, ahí tiene una promoción gratis.
Gracias. Thank you.
Repítelo, por favor.
718-386-5002.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Okay.
Gracias, Pedro.
Thank you.
Pedro, yo voy a hacer un
Gracias.
comercial ya mismo, ¿oíste?
Okay.
Tiene que pagarle a Camacho una comisión.
La comisión. Gracias.
Okay, so ahora nosotros vamos a cerrar esta porción de la reunión. So we're going to close up this portion of the meeting now. Señora Abril, si necesita salir, nosotros entender. Si tú quieren espera para la vota, que es un poquito luego en la reunión, tú pueden, pero si tú necesitas salir ahora, yo entiendo. Okay?
Okay.
So I just said that if he, needs to go, he can absolutely go. If he'd like to wait, we're going to be voting. The board will vote later on in the meeting. That now officially concludes our public hearing and all of our guest speakers, I believe. So we'll get right into our regular monthly meeting. Thank you everyone for participating. This was really, really great. We will move on now, starting with our first agenda item, which is acceptance of the agenda. I'm going out of order. Our first roll call.
Yes.
We have to make sure we have quorum. Forgive me. I know I skipped it. Give me 1 second. All right, board members, please be ready. Marcus Alston, Reverend Grace Ates, Joanna Bennett, Got you, Joanna. Joshua Brown,
Present.
Martha Brown,
Present.
Raul Brown,
Present.
Robert Camacho,
Present.
Guardier Caphart,
Present.
Melissa Carrera is excused, Felix Ceballos,
Present.
Louisa Chan, Andrew Choi,
Present.
got you. Daniela Davi,
Present.
thank you. Alvina Davis,
Present.
Carlos Feliciano, James Fitzgerald is excused, Freddie Fowler, Igaudy Gomez, Christopher Graham, Ann Guiney,
Present.
Jose Guzman,
Good evening, present.
thank you. Hadia Harrison, Jared Hicks,
Present.
Tanisha Honeygan,
Present.
thank you. Barbara Jackson,
Present.
Kristen Jock,
Present.
thank you. Cheryl Jones. I believe Cheryl called in on one of the numbers. I have not received the phone number yet to switch it over. I'm sorry, Cheryl. I'll get you hopefully in a minute. Virgie Jones and Luisa Jose.
Present.
Thank you. Andy Marte,
Present.
Mary McClellan. I know Mary's on. Imani Mitchell,
Present.
Desmond Monroe,
Present.
Sammy Namir Olivares,
Present.
Kyle O'Rourke,
Here.
Suma Novoa, Asire Polite, Gladys Pulia is excused, Raul Rubio,
Present.
Elise Ruiz. I saw Elise earlier. Bernadina Shell, Barbara Smith,
Present.
Dustin Somborn,
Present.
Annette Spellin is excused, Leo Teneo, Jerry Valentine,
Present.
Carlotta Williams,
Present.
Oldolph Wright, Frank Zimmerman.
Present.
All right, just give me one moment to tally. Did I miss, can anyone see the chat? I'm not looking at it right now. Did we miss anyone?
Cheryl Jones sent an email saying present, so.
Okay, thank you. Okay, perfect. Let me, yeah.
I
Thank
thought
you.
I saw Annette Spelling earlier. I thought I saw.
She was
Annette earlier.
excused. She had
Oh,
to
okay.
leave a little bit
Okay.
early, yes. So she
Okay,
had another
okay.
meeting. Thank you, though.
33, because of quorum.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Camacho, for saving me the time. 33 board
33.
members present. That
Yes.
constitutes a quorum. We'll
Yes.
move on now to our second agenda item, which is acceptance of the agenda as presented. Is there a motion from the board?
I make a motion that we accept the agenda.
A second.
Okay, I heard
Felix
Ovina Davis
Ceballos.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? So moved. Agenda item number 3, acceptance of the previous meeting minutes. Motion from the board.
Choi makes a motion.
Thank you.
Camacho second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. And agenda item number 4, our chairperson's report, Mr. Camacho.
Thank you all for coming. As you know, I would just want it, Avina Davis, are you on? I would just.
I'm
Avina,
on.
I would like everyone to take a moment of silence for those people that passed away in the fire and everything that's going on in this world today. And maybe Avina can, if you don't pray, put your head, bow your head down or whatever it is that you do, because it's been a rough year. And as you see, we had, it's terrible. We have to make sure that we close the doors in fires. I spoke to that in when we had our office meetings and we met with the agency, the fire agency, and we have to make sure that if people are not getting heat in our community, please call 311, then call the board's office to make sure the space heaters are far away. If you're gonna use it X amount of square footage away, because the curtain can catch on fire, your bed sheet can catch on fire. So Vina, maybe if you can give us a little prayer, all of us, or more in the silence, Vina. Thank you.
Yes, let's have a moment of silence as we contemplate those that were lost during the fire and during the year so far.
Thank you, Avina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. December 20th, Monday, I was at the CB4 EPTCS. December 21st, Tuesday at 11 a.m., the Bushwick Community Partner Meeting. The same day, December 21st, Tuesday, 6 p.m., the Housing and Land Use Committee meeting. On December 28th, Thursday, 2 p.m., the Faith Community Partner Zoom, Pastor Gil Maros. January 5th, 2022, Wednesday at 12 o'clock, the A3 precinct, I went to the A3 precinct. We have 15 new recruits. I just want to give you a little brief on these recruits. Some of them were correction officers. One of them worked for ACS. One of them worked in the hospital. One of them worked for in the hospital for emotional disturbed and mentally ill people. She was so we have a broad of people that in the community that we know that the captain can use if they have in situations with EDP, emotional disturbed person, or if they're having problems with our youth. We have someone that worked for ACS. So these are the people that are officers now in the A3. It's kind of crazy that when I went to the recruitment and I introduced myself to them, and a lot of the members of the boards introduced themselves, that it was shocking that we had people, you know, that are working with our youth, with our mental, and with people in a system that can, if they need, they don't have to pull their guns out. They can also talk to, you know, especially what's going on now. So I was glad to see that they hired people, services that we really need, especially officers now with this time and age. On January 6th, Thursday, 4 p.m., I was in the RS Coalition, which is the racial impact study that was passed. So now they're trying to do all the logistics in regards to the racial impact study now when they develop. We don't know if they're going to add, so I had one that got into the meeting. January 6th, Thursday at 5, sanitation work group. January 6th at 6 p.m., the CEC on Zoom, which is the Community Education Council. January 6th, Thursday at 6 p.m., Patrol Borough North, Inspector Moscow with the NCO. On January 7th, Friday at 10, met with the RAD. We had a couple of complaints. Thanks to Iris Cruz, which is the district manager. She's been taking care of some of the complaints there. I also spoke to Dylan, which is one of the owners, and hopefully we're getting stuff done. I gotten some more complaints today, so they're gonna take care of it. Hopefully we'll have a good thing with them. They are working with us. We're gonna have them, I think, in February, and we're not too sure. We're gonna invite them in. Maybe you guys can answer if anybody has any additional complaints in regards. RAD is the Hope Garden, which is the new people that has is no longer nights, so if a lot of people didn't know. January 11th at 5 p.m. Arts and Culture Group. January 11th, that same day, Tuesday, CB4 at 6 p.m. committee chairpersons meeting. We met with all the chairpersons. We indicated, you know, what's going on in regards to recommendations, making sure they have their quorums. So we had a good meeting with them on January 11th. On Tuesday, at the same time, I had testified for the assist and desist hearing. The assist and desist hearing was what they wanted to make it a law where they can't keep sending those papers to your house that if your house for sale. And they keep putting all those papers in the mail. They want to make sure. So a lot of real estates and a lot of people were fighting that they're hurting them because they do give out and people don't want them to keep sending notice and notice. They want to make sure they get fined if they do. So we don't know what the board is going to do as of yet, but we know that a lot of people testified in that. January 12, Wednesday at 10:30, the district service cabinet meeting. Thank God we have a lot of city agencies that come to the meeting all the time. That was great. They always come, they give us a briefing on what's going on, and we also give complaints that we want to be addressed. January 12, Wednesday at 1 p.m., the A3 Advisory Council, January 19th at 10 a.m., which is today, the clergy meeting, which I got on, and 6 p.m. today, the full board meeting, and that's the end of my report. Wait, I have some other stuff Celeste sent me. I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, okay. She wanted me.
The application renewals for the board members.
Okay, that's right. There you go. See, I got a whole bunch of. Please don't forget to put in your applications. The board members that's supposed to put in. You got into the end of I think the beginning of February, sometime in February. So you got to put it in. Start it out now. Also, I had wrote it down here. We got audit. The board. We did pretty good. Celeste don't want me to say pretty good, but we did pretty good. We got cited for no public hearing when we did have a public hearing. We always have public hearing. We were one of the first boards to do the Zoom. It was, and the thing was from 2019 to 2020. We got cited for no cable casting, which we did have. No live stream, which we didn't know we had to pay 10 grand or 15 grand. And if they would have gave us the money, we would have did the live stream. YouTube page. And then I put here, Celeste gave it to me in parentheses, compared to how much staff and money other people get. Maybe we really would have done more, but we did what we had. I think and Celeste, and if anybody wants a copy of it, Celeste, you can call the board's office. Celeste can give you a copy. We also sent a letter of rebuttal, and we sent copies of what they cited us for that we did do. Obviously, city agencies don't want to work. They just want to put things in paper. Don't want to go the extra mile and look at the pages that we sent. But we did send them that, and we sent them all the information that it's on there. So I don't know if we're waiting to hear back. We don't know what's going on in regards to that, but Celeste will fill us in on that. I think that is it, right, Celeste?
Yes,
Okay.
and just to elaborate, this was for all all community boards citywide. So
Yeah.
it wasn't just Brooklyn, it wasn't just our board, but all of the community boards were audited regarding their public meetings throughout the pandemic, because there were concerns that some boards were potentially not holding meetings or they weren't consistently holding meetings. And as per the city charter, all boards are required with very specific criteria to host both public hearings and regular monthly meetings. So there were a series of questions that we had to go through, but we can absolutely make that information available. There were some things that we do have to improve on, so we will be working on that, and all of our responses will be recorded in the formal report that the controller's office will be putting out.
Correct. And also, I just want to let you know, the office is open. Because I know I got a lot of calls from a lot of people that the office is open. What happened was one had gotten sick, and it created a row, so everybody had to go back to Zoom. They got on Zoom, and then now people got tested. They did So now we're back in the office. Everyone's back in the office. So if we get anything like that, we already know they gave us the guidelines on what we have to do. So if anybody has any problems, any concern, please give me a call, any board member or anyone. We'll make sure that everybody, I know I had 4 or 5 people call me in regards to the telephone and that it went into a voicemail. They were trying to log on to the voice in the computer. So everything came on and I called back and everything was done. I called Celeste. There must have been a problem with the phone and everything was taken care of. So if there's any problems, please give me a call. Let me know ahead of time. If I have to go over there to the office, I'll go to the office, but we want to make sure that we serve everyone. Thank you.
Joanna? You're muted, Joanna? Okay. You're still muted. We can come back to you. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I got a phone call the exact time you called me, so please excuse me. I just wanted the clarification about Mr. Camacho's last announcement about the board renewal applications. And if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Camacho, our borough president said that those applications that we submitted when the deadline was the 18th, that they're invalid now.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to be uploading new applications. So to my mind, if I'm understanding that February 18th deadline is out, am I correct?
So there may be a new deadline. They're going to send us an email. This was really just to make sure that the folks that know they have to renew are keeping track of the notices that go out. We know it gets really busy. We just want to make sure that anything that comes to you, that you're submitting the renewal application on time. We don't want any issues with when applications are submitted or anything like that, but we'll absolutely have reminders coming from the board's office. This was just a public reminder to keep an eye out.
Yeah, just to make sure they sent it out. Don't wait until the last minute and then turn around and they're not there no more. Let's make sure we're all put it in ahead of time if you have.
That was a point of clarification that I was talking to with Sharon, because the application had Eric Adams is on it. She said, oh, it's still valid. Fill out the application. So now I'm told it's invalid, but that's my understanding. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understands that we're not, So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
All right.
That is my report.
Any questions for Mr. Camacho?
Any questions, any concerns, please?
Going twice.
So,
and hearing none, we will move on now to the introduction of our elected official representatives. This is name and contact information only. I'm gonna say the name of the representative. If you can just provide us your contact info, please, at this time. I'll start with, I see we still have our council members with us. So if you just want to share your info one more time, thank you for staying on. I'll start with Councilmember Nurse, if you're still there. Sandy?
Yes, I'm here. So again, just to mention, we don't have physical phones, but we do have a phone line and we have full staff, so they'll respond. It's 718-642-8664. And you can reach us at district37@council.nyc.gov, and I'll repaste that in the chat.
Thank you. Councilmember Gutierrez? Jen? If you're still there, Jen? All right, we will circle back. Next, I have Malcolm.
Hello, good evening, everyone. As some people already know, I'm not at the Borough President's office no more. I'm at CAU with the mayor, the new mayor, and my contact is in the chat already. But if you don't have it, my phone number, my office phone number is, hold on one second. I had it. My cell phone is 347. 347. Wow, what's going on? Hold on. 1 second. Everything's right here. My phone number is 347-669-6683. The office line is 212-676-3033. And my email is mmcdaniel, that's MMCDANIEL, @cityhall.nyc www.bushwick.gov. Everything is in the chat. If you have an issue that you feel is not getting resolved and you want us to look into it, please reach out to me and I'll definitely get back to you.
And we will be talking.
Of course. Of
Thank you.
course.
All right, next I have Carlos.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carlos. I'm the Director of Community Relations for the Senator. Our office phone number, I'll drop everything in the chat. It's 718-573-1726. Also, I'm your point person for all things Bushwick and all things NYCHA. So please feel free to reach out to me on my personal number and email, which I will drop in the chat. And one quick thing I wanted to say is that if you are a part of a nonprofit, a CBO, until the end of the month, we are accepting budget request letters. So please feel free to reach out. We want to make sure that that everyone has a chance to get some funding from the state. Yes, just feel free to reach out to me. Anything you need, you got me.
Carlos, thank you for everything you do. And I like your beard, man. That's nice.
Thank you. I'm going to have to cut it sometime soon.
Oh, Desmond, I think Desmond's on.
Go ahead, Desmond.
So you mentioned all things NYCHA. NYCHA has a lot of problems. What does that mean?
So I just want to put a dog ear in that, Desmond. It is 7:53, and that is that could be a town hall. So I'm going to respectfully ask the board if we can just put a pin in that and we will circle back with the senator's office and we will figure something out. And I will also say this, Brad has been invited to present at our February meeting during the public hearing. So if that will suffice, we can always have this conversation then. Is that good?
I'm good.
Okay. Desmond, we'll get him next time.
So be ready.
Yeah, because I saw your claws coming out.
Yeah, we could feel it. We could feel it. So okay.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos. Next I have Yvette. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I just unmuted myself. Hi, good evening, everyone. I hope that everyone is off to a great start to the new year. I know it's been a while. I was off for about a month. I was sick and I took some time off. So I'm glad to be back and see you guys. But my name is Yvette Lopez. I am the Communications Director for Assemblywoman Maritza Davila. We are located at 249 Wilson Avenue here in Brooklyn. And our contact number is 718-443-1205. And I will also enter that in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we miss you.
I also have, thank you. I have Pamela.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm here representing Assembly Member Eric M. Delon. I am the constituent liaison there. We are located at 366 Cornelia Street, and our phone number is 718-386-4576. Thank you.
Thank you. And I saw Evelyn earlier. Evelyn, are you still there?
No, I think she had to get off. She had another meeting, but she said.
All right. If I missed you, it is not intentional. Please just drop us a message in the chat, and there will be an opportunity to speak again later.
I think she dropped something off in the chat. I think, Salas.
Okay. Perfect. We'll take a look and we'll make sure to reference it under announcements.
Okay.
Next, we have our community-based organizations and agencies. I'm going to name the organization. If someone is still there, please just name and contact info only. North Brooklyn Coalition Against Family Violence.
Hey folks, it's Ariella. My phone number is 314-635-0413, and I'll put my email in the chat. We have services for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault.
Thank you. Bushwick Food Co-op. Name and contact info.
Hi, my name's Brittany, and we do mostly email. We're at board@bushwickfoodcoop.org. We do also have voicemail at 347-450-1087.
Thank you. And NYPCC.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's Selena LeBron. Our contact info, well, my direct contact info is 718-704-3622. And our address is 102 Pilling Street on the corner of Evergreen. And we are continuing to provide mental health services and counseling services to children and families. Thank you.
All right. And if you're still there, Mr. Weiwei, Brooklyn Public Library.
Yes, I am here. Good evening, everybody. We are located at 360 Irving Avenue, and our telephone number is 718-628-8378.
Celeste, I know you want me to say that because I know you're getting ready to laugh. Wait, how are you?
It's tradition. It's tradition. We got to keep it going.
Sure.
So, and then if someone from the Bushwick Star just wants to again reiterate your contact info.
Hi, everyone. Noel Elaine from the Bushwick Star Theater. You can email me at Noel, Noel, at thebushwickstar.org. I'll put that in the chat. And my cell, if you want to reach out, is 917-620-8546.
No, you got to smile, man. You can't be so sad when you're in the meeting. It can make it sound like I owe you money. There you go.
Apologies, Camacho.
So
I know you have a rough day, but smile. You know, I'm gonna do what Celeste said. We got. How was it? What was it we're doing now, Celeste?
Oh, our theme for this year is make life easy.
Correct. We got a theme every year. Me and Celeste be yelling at each other. She says, "Make life easy." I said, "Okay."
You're too loud. You have to be careful with Camacho.
Well, make life easy.
I support that.
Perfect. All right. So I believe that's all of our CBOs. If I've missed you again, it's unintentional, but we'll move on with our agencies now. I see Julia, Department of Education.
Hi, good night. The adult education. Just say my phone number.
Yeah, name and contact info. Yeah.
Oh, Julia. So adult education, District 79, 718-384-5028.
Perfect. Thank you. And I believe Frank, DOB.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's Frank Fontana from the Department of Buildings, Community Engagement. So my email is frfontana@buildings.nyc.gov. Number 718-420-3591. Damaris is normally a liaison. I'm just filling in for tonight, but she couldn't be here. And her email is dfalero, so it's DFALERO@buildings.nyc.gov. I also did share 2 links in there as well pertaining to property owners. So if you have any questions, feel free to email us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I believe that concludes our introductions this evening. Now we have our report. I believe our captain is here from the A3 precinct, Captain Sanabria.
Hello, how are you? Happy New Year, everyone. Just want a few numbers to give you. We were down for the year, 2% last year. We call that a win. We had a lot of index crimes throughout the year, but you know, Bushwick is a very busy place. We had over 1,600 index crimes, but we were down and we continue to go down. So far this year, we're actually down 31% so far. We hope to continue that trend. And, like Mr. Camacho said, we had 15 new recruits that are going to be, that are here to help out. Right now, they're in a 3-month training where they're rotating from platoon to platoon so that they could get the feel of every aspect, whether it's midnights, day tours, or 4 to 12s. But we welcome them. They come from different backgrounds, different cultures, and we welcome them, and they're definitely going to be an asset to the Bushwick community. Looking at property crimes, once again, car break-ins, package thefts. Just make sure that your vehicles are locked and there is nothing visible to anyone as they walk by. Also for packages, we also have the problem, FedEx, UPS. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but they usually just throw it on your steps and then walk away, not caring about hiding them or anything. They made their delivery. However, we have people that roam the streets of Bushwick and steal packages. So if you could just find someone to receive the package, a local business, whatever the case is, so that we don't have to, so that you don't have to have the stress of reporting it. And it's 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 very stressful. I know that I had my own packages stolen from my front door. So just want to make sure that everyone understands that. In regards to grand larceny autos, for some reason, we continue to have people, you're not thinking, you jump out of the car, I'm going to run into the store real quick, but they're leaving their cars on and keys in ignition. And when they come out 2 minutes later, the car is gone. We had 3 incidents in one day last week. We're trying to get it out there through education that, be mindful, turn the car off, run in, come back out, and we wouldn't have that situation. Once again, emergencies, call us 911. But if there's not an emergency, you always have 311 to call, or you can call the precinct at 574-1605. And of course, anything that you want to talk about more, you can reach out to Celeste or Mr. Camacho, and they email me, and I respond back to them, and I have my the right people doing the job, whether it be NCOs or community affairs or the sectors. We usually go out there and take care of it. But thank you for all that you do. We're here for you, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Captain. Anybody got any questions, any issues, any concerns? Please don't hesitate. And if you don't want to yell anything out, just please call the community board's office, 718-628-8400. Give us the complaint and we'll go directly, because we don't know who's on these things, and we don't want to make sure everybody stays safe. We don't want another Maria Hernandez tragedy. So please, whatever, if it's personal, you got locations or something, let us be the bad guys. Thank you. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you. And I'd just like to quickly note, we were recently contacted by someone that was concerned. This isn't the first time we've heard these concerns about the e-bikes and the bicycles and the mopeds and everything riding on the sidewalks, potentially running you over. We know it's a very serious situation. We passed along that info to the captain. We're going to be not only speaking to him, but the Department of Transportation to see what we can do together to get some information education out there to the community. But to also make sure that enforcement is watching and keeping folks safe. So thank you to the person who alerted us to what's going on Broadway. We know that Broadway is split between 2 precincts. We notified both the 8-1 and the 8-3, and we'll be working closely with the 8-3. So thank you, Captain, for your response and for everything you do.
Thank you.
All right. So if there are no other questions, comments, that will conclude this part of the meeting, and we'll move on now to the district manager's report. That is my report. And I will keep it very brief this evening, wishing everyone a happy new year. I hope you all were able to take some time to reflect this past Monday on Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy. We know that there are a lot of things happening in the world these days, but absolutely community is so important, and we will continue to be here. The community board's office. So please let us know if you have any concerns, things that are going on. It's a very exciting time. We have new representation, all levels of government. So we look forward to working with everyone. And I'm not going to go into detail about my meetings. You're welcome. So I'll leave it there. One quick announcement. So Riseboro reached out to us. Thank you, Maria, letting us know they have a community advisory board. So if anyone is interested in joining their community advisory board, we can absolutely pass along the information. Please let me know, send us call us, drop something in the chat. We'll follow up tomorrow. All right. Any questions for the office? We're all there. I want to say thank you to Kim and Sharon. Everyone, please keep Sharon in mind. She's been feeling a little bit unwell, but hopefully she'll be back on Monday. Other than that, I think that covers everything. Okay. No comments. We'll go right into our committee reports, starting with, I know we have 2, Ms. Jackson, Barbara, if you want to go first. Barbara, you're muted. All right. We may have to, oh, there you go. Oh, you muted again. Now.
No, but I didn't have my hand up.
is for the committee meeting to summarize the meeting that was held. If you would like, I can also provide, but it's just summarizing the meeting that was held the end of December. We already heard most of it, so you don't have to talk about the car service.
Part of it, right? The sanitation,
The cemetery.
cemetery, and I forget the lady's name.
Would you like for me to just provide a brief overview on your behalf?
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Sure, of course. So the other two items, in addition to the Bushwick Car Service request, there was one presentation from the Evergreen Cemetery. They were recently designated, I believe, a level 2 arboretum, which is very exciting. We often talk about our lack of open space in Bushwick, but folks, maybe it's non-traditional, but we don't really think about our open spaces, but we have so many different types of trees in the cemetery that they're recognized, I believe, on a national level. So they wanted to share a little bit of information with the community board about that designation, as well as encourage everyone to participate in their programming that they have throughout the year. I know in the past they've held stargazing events, they do walking tours. So they really try to, reach out and keep us posted about what's going on. They have a newsletter if anyone is interested in joining, and you can read the report for more information. And then the final item, it wasn't a formal agenda item, although it's very exciting news. We are working with a former council member and Deputy Borough President Diana Reyna on a study of sanitation issues in Bushwick. So there'll likely be a little bit of history. And just to give some context to this, the community board's office has been supporting a working group for sanitation issues since July of 2020. The group includes partners such as Clean Bushwick Initiative, Rise Borough, our elected official representatives, sanitation, the Maria Hernandez Dog Run Pack, Tony's Pizza. So a lot of different stakeholders have participated over the years, and we continue to encourage folks to get more involved if they would like to work and strategize around sanitation issues. So hopefully we'll be summarizing all of those great things in that report, and we'll be preparing recommendations, both for our elected officials and for the community, right? Because it really, we can always ask sanitation to do this, we can ask our elected officials about policy, but all of that work really starts in the community and how we're exploring the things that we're doing, from cleanups to different types of practices, and really highlighting how Bushwick, tries to combat the ongoing waste and sanitation issues that are here. So it's really exciting. There are some strategies that'll be coming up, and there'll be a survey coming out soon, but that will be in partnership with Diana as a consultant, and we will keep everyone posted as to how you can get more involved. And if you would like more information, as always, you can reach out to the board's office, myself, Kim, Sharon, Mr. Camacho, Ms. Jackson. We're happy to give you some more information. And I believe that concludes that committee's report. Did I miss anything, Kim? We good? Okay, perfect. Any questions? Going once? Going twice? All right.
Just want to say you guys continue to do a great job, CB4.
Thank you, Selena. Yeah. All right, and I believe Anne, Housing and Land Use is next. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Celeste. Thanks, everybody. So good to see everyone. Our meeting was on December 21st. We moved it early a week just for the holidays. And it was a presentation about the Rheingold Senior Residences, which recently broke ground. Many of the long-term members of the community board will remember the vote over the Rheingold rezoning, which was a contentious vote. And I think a lot of people have a lot of, felt really burnt by what ended up happening in that. The Rheingold Senior Residences are one of the good things that came out of that. It's probably the best thing that came out of it. It's a senior building developed by Los Sures, Southside United, and Churches United for Fair Housing. It has 94 units. There will be 54 studios and 39 one-bedrooms. It's the 28 of those units will be reserved for the formerly homeless, and then the other 66 will be for seniors. It's got some really nice energy efficiency features in it. And so the presentation was made by Alex Spatz from Southside United, and then Sarah Bayer from Magnuson Architecture, who was the one of the architects. We raised a few concerns, really. I mean, we're delighted that this is actually happening because it took so long. It was how many years ago was it, Celeste? I don't even remember at this point. I mean, so many years ago. Like I think a lot of people thought this was never actually going to happen. It is happening. They broke ground. It's going to happen. I believe it's a sort of 2-year build out and renting process. So we did ask them to maintain good communication with us because we were all, to be honest, a little surprised. It sort of popped out of the blue, even though it's something that we have been following for a long time. And Alex Spatz from Los Sures committed absolutely to that, just to keep us in touch about that. And then the other was the 60% AMI, the area median income is the income limit. That is about $50,000 a year for one person, which is still a lot higher than most of our seniors make. So we did raise that concern. It's also going to have vouchers attached to this project. So people will only pay a percentage of their income, whatever it is, even if it's just Social Security or something, they will only pay 1/3 of. And so that, I think, reassured a lot of us, which means that this is going to be affordable for a lot of the folks who are in it. And then finally, we said, look, like we feel very strongly about this project for so many reasons, and to ask them to commit to very robust local outreach when the project is done, when it's ready to rent, to make sure that we have seniors from Bushwick who are filling every single one of that sort of 50% set aside. Like we want our folks in there. We want to keep our people in the community that they love and have spent their life in. So that was really, it was just a presentation. There was a few other things. It was really just, we talked about, Celeste has been looking into the open space at the Rheingold development across the street from this. It was supposed to be open space, open to the community. It has not been. So there's been a lot of back and forth with Department of City Planning, who's pushing against the developers. Celeste, maybe do you have an update on that or not yet? Maybe next month?
So just a point of clarification, we were actually asked by I don't know if she's still our liaison, because I think that there have been some changes at city planning, but Alexandra Pati Diaz has been our liaison for the past year or so, perhaps longer. And she asked me if we'd heard anything about the space, if the space was open, because they were internally looking in to follow up on some of the agreements that were made during that process. I let her know, to my knowledge, unless they had just opened it, when we were having the conversation, that nothing had changed. So, I mean, it's not open. It hasn't been open, but I know that city planning was looking into it. I haven't heard since then, although I will try to follow up just to get clarity on who our liaison is, if there's been a change, and then see if there are any updates as it relates to that.
Thank you so much, Celeste, because I do think, I mean, it's very timely in terms of the Rheingold Senior residences. Like, there were promises made to this community. Some of those were broken. And we need to make sure that every other promise that was made to this community, they have to honor it, and we need to hold them accountable. And I think, it's on us to do that, sadly. Like, they should stand up and do it, but it's on us to do it. Finally, the last thing we talked about was 1325 Broadway. Miss Hicks, who is a member of the community, is sort of informally the liaison. Excuse me. This is a project that is on the old garden by Miss Avalar Hansley. Many of you knew and loved her. It is as of right. It looks like all of the legal pushback against this project has come to the end of the road. So this is something that we are going to reach out to our electeds, to Sandy, to Jen, to our at the city level is probably the most appropriate, to just get our heads together to talk about this and figure it out. So we want to support that community. And there was no big developments in that. It's a project that we're going to be following for a long time. And so we'll probably be hearing about a lot, and that is it. So our next meeting is next Tuesday, the 25th. We welcome every single person here to join us. Please do. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Anne. Any questions, housing and land use?
Just
All
want
right.
to, I just want to let the Madam Chair know that, yes, at the ribbon cutting ceremony, I did tell them that, yes, Los Suras is in Williamsburg, but the building is in Bushwick. So please, let's make sure our seniors get their fair share. We don't mind sharing the love, but we want some of those apartments.
No, we have to do really, and we asked him at that meeting and he committed to it, very strong outreach, get our folks in there. It matters. It really does.
Yep, especially when you're at an age that you want to be comfortable and have something new and relax, not nothing old that you know you got to put money into, something that a senior can just relax and do what they have to do for the rest of their lives. So that's a wonderful thing.
Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you, Madam.
And just, thank you both. And one quick housing related update. We did get a notice in the mail regarding 10 Montief Street, so which is right in that area. The housing lottery application or for a waiting list specifically are open. This building is at 60% AMI. So I quickly skimmed the eligibility criteria. And so I don't have the income like brackets off the top of my
50,000
head, but
for 60%.
yeah, so I know that the rents though were like 900 and change for a studio, you know, probably similar for 1 bedroom, you know, going, and then they have different amounts available. So please take a look online, NYC Housing Connect. It's run through HPD's website. The waiting list it's looking like it's reopening. They may have units becoming available. So.
Celeste, so my question is, I'm very concerned. My question is, so if you did apply and you're someone from Bushwick, how would you know if you got it or you didn't get it, or what is the procedures in regard? Because you can fill papers out everywhere you want. You know, we need to make sure that the people that do apply get, because I know someone that applied through Lotto and he applied through it for over 2 years and he got called, he sent the application, and he's still waiting to get this apartment. So I don't know how, where's the cutoff, where, you know?
So I'm sure it varies, but we would have to follow up on a case-by-case basis. You know,
Yeah.
I can't speak to that, you know, particular situation, but, you know, I know as it relates to the applications themselves, once you submit, if you are selected, they will notify you. So if you're not selected, you're not going to receive any follow-up. But that being said, I would have to ask to figure out from the time they're contacting you and through the rest of the process to see what's going on. We would have to ask.
Because yes, they were, the person that I said put in for it, yes, he was, because he showed me that he got selected. He gave in all the paperwork, but it's been 2 years since he got. So how is that?
So I see Anne's hand. Yeah, we would have to ask. So, but
And
Anne,
Macho, it sounds like we should follow up on that specific case, but it also might be worth reaching out to HPD and asking them to give us a little like mini workshop on the application process, what people need to know, how to make a better application, because there is still, I mean, everyone says there's a court case and it's not going to last forever, but right now there's a 50% set aside for people who live, who qualify and who live in the district. And I think in a lot of the projects, when it's 130 AMI, that's like practically market rate housing. It's over market rate. It's useless, but something at the 60% level, like a lot more people are going to fall into that, or the senior housing, like that really matters. So we should try to educate ourselves and share information about the best way to increase your chances in the housing lottery.
I have someone, someone
yeah,
has.
we took a note. And then Hadia?
Yeah, I was going to say that they have a website. I think it's called housingconnect.nyc. That's pretty proficient at like helping you stay up to date with all of the lotteries that you've applied to. And I know like what happened to the person that you gave an example of, that is very common. That you'll go through the process, you'll get selected, you'll turn in your paperwork and you'll hear nothing. But if you go to the Housing Connect website, they have like different tabs that shows you like where you are in the process. And sometimes you don't get, like you're supposed to get emails or whatever type of alerts you have set up that tells you like where you're moving along. But sometimes you're just like on a wait list. I think, in my personal opinion, I think it's like some type of scam that goes on where they just purposely try to keep a particular income level who may qualify for the housing, but they don't necessarily want that demographic maybe. And I think they just keep them in limbo and keep them on that wait list, even though they clearly were selected and they qualify. But I would also go on to say with what Ann pointed out, you have to contact HPD or whatever housing, because I know it's another one. It's HPD and it's another one that like it oversees like the housing lotteries, but you gotta like make a complaint to them to get the ball moving. But a lot of people don't even know that they're just literally stuck in limbo. But if you have a account with Housing Connect, you can see your process, and the only way that you're going to get moving in the process is you got to constantly call HPD. It's a rat race, but you got to constantly call HPD to make those complaints, and that's typically how it works.
Thank you. Malcolm?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was trying to Google it. If you went to HUD.gov and looked up approved housing counseling agencies, agencies like NHS, Neighborhood Housing Services, Impact, there's a lot of them. They have little workshops and they sit you down on how to actually fill out the applications appropriately. But just like what everybody else is saying, there seems to be like a loophole. I know that sometimes I believe the council people are supposed to be able to audit them and to see how many people in Community Board 4 actually got in departments and stuff like that. I believe HPD or HCR has the list, maintains the list. So maybe reaching out to your council people to see if they can do a more effective job, or again, like reach out to the housing counseling services is a good place.
Thank you. We'll make sure that we'll speak to ours and make sure we get the list so we can find out the people that do it. Make sure that the people from Bushwick does, because there's too many finagling going on. So we want to make sure that our people get on. Thank you. All right, Celeste,
Thank you.
moving right
Yep,
along.
we will move along. I just want to quickly thank and note that there's the link for HPD's Housing Connect in the chat. Thank you, Gardier, one of our board members. With that being said, we will now wrap up committee reports and we will move on to, please correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's recommendations, correct?
Yes.
Yes, recommendations. We should only have one this evening for the Taxi Limousine Commission renewal for Bushwick Car Service. The committee's recommendation, Ms. Jackson, would you like me to summarize?
Oh, no, we agreed to give him the letter because there was no, he had said that they were good. There was no problem. So can I make a recommendation that we give him the letter?
Yes.
Someone else has to do. I can do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't believe it could be the committee chair. So, but just to specify a letter of no objection, letter of no objection. Is there a motion from the committee or the board?
Are we gonna do are we gonna request a blanket vote, or we're gonna do an individual vote, or how is it? Or you want to do a vote to create a blanket vote, or you want to everybody wants to vote on their own?
Blanket.
Yeah, so Ms. Davis made a motion. I'm gonna take that as a motion for a blanket from Ms. Davis. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Joanna seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? So moved.
Now we gotta make and someone has to make a motion to
On the
give
committee's
them a letter
recommendation.
on the recommendation, to give them a letter of objection. Okay, I make a motion, give them a letter of objection. I'll make a recommendation to make a letter recommendation from the full board.
Mr. Camacho made a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Oh, Felix Ceballos seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Thank you, everyone. And I believe that concludes our recommendations this evening. Going once, going twice. Moving on. Old business. Any old business? Going once, going twice. New business? Going once, going twice. Announcements? All right, everybody get ready. I'm gonna go through the same list that we had before. If you have an announcement, please just be prepared. And board members, folks that are panelists or presenters, if you could raise your hands, that'll make this a lot easier if you have an announcement. So any announcements, please raise your hand up. Okay, perfect. I have Virgie, go ahead.
And I got the clock ticking, not I'm gonna shut you off.
I hope you won't have to do that, Mr. Camacho. Anyway, I just want to say congratulations to Gia Rodriguez from PS 376. She was one of our S.A. Williams winners from the Albany, and she will receive her certificate and award on February 5th at our Bridge from Africa virtual event. And more details will be forthcoming. Thanks to all who supported it. And we're happy that we have a winner in our area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Virgie.
Next, I see Selena. Oh, you're muted. Okay, we can come back to you, Selena. You're still muted though.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was unmuted. I'm so sorry. Good evening, everyone. Thank you once again for hosting such a wonderful meeting and allowing me to speak. Again, my name is Selena. I'm from NYPCC, and I want to invite you all to our cafe. We have moved it to the new year. We've, with everything that's going on, we're trying to, and when everybody being zoomed out, we actually moved our cafes, our monthly cafes, to now bi-monthly. So our first cafe of the year will be February 16th at 5 p.m. I put the Zoom link in the chat, but I'll also share the flyer with Celeste. And we are going to be talking about suicide awareness because sadly, youth suicide, the rate has increased by 51%. And we need to talk about awareness and prevention. And so I invite you all to attend February 16th at 5 p.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Brittany?
Hi, good evening. My name is Brittany. I'm on the board at the Bushwick Food Cooperative. Glad to be here. Just wanted to share some information about a program that we are running right now, which is called the Grocery Share. Just quickly for a little background on the Bushwick Food Co-op, we ran a member-owned and operated grocery store at 2 Porter Ave, which was just off Flushing. We closed, unfortunately, in 2019 after a fire, and in 2020 during the pandemic, we decided to pivot our model to be a weekly grocery pickup. We call this the Grocery Share. So the Grocery Share is open to everyone. You don't have to be a member of the cooperative to participate. And every week we source bags of fresh produce from local farms. And we're using a tiered pricing model that lets participants pay at different rates, whatever makes most sense to people financially. And so our goal here is to create a kind of mutually supportive structure in which people with more financial resources can help subsidize the cost of groceries. And this allows us to offer like really fresh, delicious, high quality produce at accessible prices. So our tier 1 is priced at or below wholesale cost. So this is $18 a week, and it's 5 to 7 vegetables, 1 to 3 fruit varieties in every bag. We are holding this at Mayday Space at St. Nicholas and Himrod, and this is also with the support of Iglesia de la Santa Cruz and Bushwick Abbey. We had our first season in the fall and it went really well. So we're really excited to continue offering this program. Our next season is starting in about a week and a half on Monday, January 31st. So I just wanted to say hi and share this information. And we have details and registration form on our website. I'll drop all of our info into the chat. Yeah, thanks for having me. And thanks for your help, Celeste, and letting us present some information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I see Julia.
And I went there with Celeste when they were open.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So yes, hopefully, yeah, this is an exciting program, and hopefully, potentially they'll have another space in the neighborhood one day. But for now, we can absolutely benefit from the programs that they're still able to run. I have Julia, and then DA's office, followed by Sammy. Julia.
Hi, good night, everybody. Greetings from District 79 with adult education. 3 semi-big announcements. I'll keep it brief. We are still doing in-person classes. I know everyone, you go out to the supermarket, you go out to your church or synagogue. So just encourage everyone who's looking to continue their education, adults in our community. A lot of jobs out there, but you need your GED. We're doing night classes at All City Secondary School on Palmetto. We're also partnering with the Brooklyn Navy Yard. We're providing OSHA 30 classes on Saturday mornings and the food license course during the week and also Saturday mornings. We're looking to expand that. I'll keep you posted. Looking forward to, the Broadway Junction as well, putting a plug in there. We're also doing English as a second language, and all of our classes, documented, undocumented, are encouraged to attend and continue their education. We're still in the pandemic, but education continues. I left my contact info in the chat. If you have any questions about adult education, let me know. And we're also opening a hub site on Melrose Street. I'll send that to you, Ms. Leon. And this is where anybody in New York City can come and register or get their questions answered about adult education. Am I good? Make time?
That's it. You're done.
Nice.
I'm gonna shut you off, but you did a good job.
Got you. All right.
Next, thank you. Next is Jonathan, followed by Sammy and then Yvette.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jonathan from Bozeman, Public Engagement for the Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez. Just quick, my phone number is 347-986-6146, and I just want to report back that last week in Flatbush, we had a gun buyback. We collected about 32 guns, I think, give or take. And while we wish it was more, that could be 30 lives that have been saved. And so I just want to reiterate that that's not the only initiative that the office, the DA is spearheading. We're also doing a lot of partnerships with different community organizations, violence interrupters, things in different parts. I'm going to try to bring more information to you in the next meeting to report back on some of these initiatives and the successes we've had in other events and other initiatives that can take guns off our streets. Thank you.
Thank you. Sammy?
Thank you, Celeste. I want to quickly bring attention to a little small business. It's like a coffee shop next to Irving Square Park. It's owned by a woman, a Latina. She's a single mother with 3 children, and they have been having a lot of issues paying rent because of the pandemic. So they have a GoFundMe page to support them. So it's a local business that is employing 2 people. It's child friendly, pet friendly, everyone friendly. And it's just 1 block outside of Irving Square Park. It's just so small that people might have not noticed it, but it is very warm. I'm gonna post in the chat the address and the website, and it's next to Trinity Church in the corner. And yeah, it would be great if people can stop by. They do bagels, sandwiches, cafes, and all of that. So it was heartbreaking to see, the desperation of, this cafe because, the lack of funding, but hopefully we can support. Thank you.
Sammy, where's that? Where's the address?
513 Wilson.
Can you please share it in the chat, Sammy?
I will. It's Weirfield and Wilson.
Gracias.
Sammy, when you want to go over there if I could get a sandwich?
On Saturday. We're gonna go on Saturday.
At
They
what
have
time?
the best bagels, amazing bagels. Yeah.
Okay, at what time?
At 1 p.m.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay.
It better be
Now
good. If the
everybody
sandwich
knows.
not good, you're gonna have to make a new sandwich.
And they're cheap. I paid 2 sandwiches, 4 coffees for $15. So it was
Oh
good.
man, then get the $15 for you can buy me something too then.
That sounds good, Sammy. The price sound good.
There we go. Next I have, thank you, Sammy, for that. Yvette is next.
Hello, everyone. So just a few updates on behalf of the Assembly member. As you know, she's back and forth in Albany. Legislative session did start early in January, and she has a few legislative priorities that include the Good Cause Eviction Bill, which is to better protect our tenants. We also have the Comprehensive Discharge Bill, which is a bill that she is the primary sponsor and she introduced last year. And that's, excuse me, I just ate. And so that's to provide a structure of reentry program for formerly incarcerated individuals, and also to fight against predatory funding. So those are some of the things that she's working on, as well as the budget, which is due in March, as you guys know, to provide funding for our schools, our businesses, and so forth. I did want to let you guys know that we have a few hundred COVID-19 take-home kits that we're looking to give away tomorrow, and as well as Friday from 10 to 4 at our district office. And I also included that in the chat. So if you have any information, again, I can be reached at 718-443-1205. Thank you.
Thank you. And Carlos?
Yes, hello everyone. So really quickly, you know, the senator really sends her best regards, and there's a couple updates as well from our office in terms of legislative priority. The senator is fighting really hard to pass a good cause eviction and protect our community from unjust evictions. One thing I mentioned earlier about the budget request, please reach out to me. Also, there's a homeowners insurance program that just opened. Applications are not being accepted. It'll provide up to $539 million in aid for eligible homeowners. I'll drop all the information in the chat. Also, the eviction moratorium has ended, but our office is here to support and help. If you have any questions, if you need any help, please call our office. I'll include all that information. ERAP portal has reopened, so please reach out. We encourage as many people to keep applying as well. And make sure that, and if you need any help with SNAP, but with ERAP unemployment, or experiencing any sort of tenant harassment, you can also please reach out to our office, and I'll drop out that information in the chat. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
And Carlos,
Thank you.
I would like to thank you, Carlos, because I just want to acknowledge that through Carlos, I had worked to get our senior that home that she was duly through the NYCHA, through the RAD, and I want to thank you. And our senior is 80-something years old, has a home, and we want to thank you for all you do. You know, sometimes you guys work so hard, and no one. I know the boss, she get paid to do that job, and sometimes you guys go on and beyond. So I just want to thank you, and we gonna make it happen. Don't worry, our people gonna be home. So I just want to thank you for all that you do for us.
Thank you, Camacho. And it takes a village, and definitely following the lead of the senator, who sets an incredible example for our team, and we follow her lead. And I'm really happy to be working with all of you. You all make it happen. We're here to support and help and do it together. And thank you, Camacho, for your incredible voice and advocacy. I don't know what we could do without you, what I could do without you.
A lot of people don't like. A lot of people don't like when I yell, but I know you listen when I yell.
You know I do. You know I like it.
That's it. That's it. So I saw some messages in the chat. Mr. Weiwei, I don't know if you wanted to share, if you would like me to.
Yes. Good evening once more. What's going on at the library? I provided our website. Feel free to log on to it. But there's an announcement. The New York City Health and Hospitals Test and Trace Corps, in conjunction with the library, is offering free vaccinations for kids 5 through 11 at select libraries. Maybe I'm going to advocate for the Washington Irving branch for Bushwick, like a lion. But anyway, for now, the two branches that are offering the vaccinations are Coney Island and the New Lodge Avenue, or New Lodge branch, I beg your pardon. Each child gets $100 courtesy of the New York City incentive, and then they get a copy of the Maurice Sendak book, you know, the classic Where the Wild Things Are. So they get a copy of that. So for now, 2 libraries, but check our website for changes, you know, for additions. And then given the relationship we have with the board, giving all your support, we wish to thank you. And then we, on behalf of for the library, I wish to take this opportunity to extend our congratulations to our new mayor, the Honorable Adams, our own brother we had a chance to work with, Borough President Reynoso, our elected council members, Ms. Nurse, and the Gutierrez family, and above all, being the father of an only child, a daughter who just got married last year and moved to Italy with her husband. I wish to say congratulations on the birth of the Princess Gutierrez. Thank you very much.
Yeah, wait, but we need you. We need one in Bushwick. Wait. We don't want to hear that.
I know it. I was
So
apprehensive.
we got, listen, wait. I'm not going to Coney Island with no babies. We need one right here on the one on Bushwick or the one on Irving Square. One of those. We need to fight with these elected officials to bring one in there. So you got to do some more work, okay?
We'll do. Yes.
Wait, it's not his name. Wait.
That's his name. Wait. We go. Wait.
We'll do it.
All right. And Eliseo, did you have something? Your hand is raised?
No. It was before. It's okay. My turn passed. It's all right. No problem.
Oh,
Okay.
gee, he was
All right.
trying to tell you that he was here. He was checking in because he
Oh.
couldn't. So his
Okay,
hand stood up.
okay.
So now you know he's here.
Thank you. Perfect. We got you. Joanna?
I just have a question and maybe you can make an announcement, Celeste. Has there been any word about these open meetings? Anything from the governor's office at all about the community board meetings, open meetings?
So thank you, Joanna. So we are on this evening because the assembly was able to pass legislation and the governor was able to sign said legislation to my knowledge. So that is the only reason we are meeting remotely this evening, and that will be possible as an option as long as there's a state of emergency due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we don't know when the state of emergency will end, but while we were still in it, we'll be able to continue meeting remotely. And just to elaborate on that, because I know that there are a lot of concerns about going back to in-person, we will absolutely be following all health guidance. We will be notifying the board and the community as soon as possible, whenever that's a reality. But thankfully, we didn't have to send any emails, to get anyone concerned. The state went back to session. Everything was taken care of, and we are here this evening because of the leadership for our state government, the governor and our state elected officials. So thank you to all of them. We know all of our representatives. We were on the phone with them throughout December, the beginning of this month. So thank you to everyone who made sure that our voices were heard.
Yes, and I had spoken to Marissa Davila, and she says, yes, they passed it. They're waiting for it. So everything was done. So we want to thank her. And if we do, we want to make sure if you're sick, don't come. Stay home. Don't worry about it. Don't come. If you've got a cold, anything, don't come. Don't worry about it. Your life is more important. Don't worry. We'll always be here. So thank you.
Thank you. Last call. Thank you, Joanna. Any final announcements going once, going twice? Thank you, everyone. We'll now move on to our second roll call. Board members, please be ready. Starting with Frank Zimmerman.
Present.
Thank you. Oldhoff Wright. Carlotta Williams.
Present.
Jerry Valentine.
Present.
Leo Teneo. Annette Spellin is excused. Dustin Sonborn.
Present.
Barbara Smith. Bernadina Shell. Eliseo Ruiz.
Present.
Got you, Barbara. Raul Rubio.
Yes, I am present.
Gladys Pouliot is excused. Asira Polite. Uma Navoa. Kyle O'Rourke.
Present.
Sammy Namir.
Present.
Desmond Monroe.
Present.
Imani Mitchell. Mary McClellan. And just a reminder to everyone on the phone, *6 to unmute yourself, *6. Andy Marte. Luisa Jose. Virgie Jones.
Present.
Thank you, Luisa. Cheryl Jones. Kristen Jock.
Present.
Barbara- Thank you, Cheryl. Barbara Jackson. Tanisha Honeygan. Jared
Present.
Hicks. Thank you.
Present.
Thank you. Hadia Harrison.
Present.
Jose Guzman.
Present, and have a good evening, everybody.
Ann Guiney.
Present. Good evening.
Christopher Graham. Igadi Gomez. Freddie Fowler.
Here.
Thank you. James Fitzgerald's excused. Carlos Feliciano. Alvina Davis,
Present and good night.
Daniela Davi,
Present.
Andrew Choi,
Present.
Luisa Chan, Felix Ceballos,
Present. Good night, everyone.
Melissa Carrera's excused, Guardia Caphart,
Here.
Robert Camacho,
Presente.
Raul Brown,
Present.
Martha Brown, Joshua Brown,
Present. Good night.
Joanna Bennett,
Good night and good luck.
Reverend Nates. All right, a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second,
second.
Robert Camacho.
Robert Camacho, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved, 8:47. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Everyone.